he had it on Steam and I had it on Xbox. Like, even though it was on the computer, I had it on the Xbox app on the computer. Just because it was on Steam, you can't play with it any other console or any other system.
It can't talk to the others.
Yeah, no, Steam is only on Steam. That's it.
That's weird.
Yeah. So like I had it on Xbox, he had it on Steam, but
they wouldn't talk to each other.
Yeah, they wouldn't work. They wouldn't work together. So he had to.
What changed? Or you had to get it on Xbox?
Yeah, he paid $1 for the Game Pass.
$1 for the Game Pass.
It's for 150 games, $1's not bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, dude, the market selling for Game Pass is a really good idea. It's honestly like iTunes did. iTunes made every song $1.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed my market.
I mean,
for music. That's
I don't know anything about that. It's an Apple problem.
That changed music itself. Like, it changed the industry of pricing. Like, you buy a CD for $20, right? And then it's only 10 songs nowadays. But then you buy one song for $1. iTunes, when iTunes became partners, whatever, all that stuff, when they were fighting for that, they went to every label and asked, "Would it be cool to sell it for $1?"
Metallica was hard on that shit. Like back in they were working with the RIAA. They were in like the LimeWire, BearShare kind of days.
Yeah,
and shit.
Napster. They were the ones that fought Napster.
Yeah. Yeah, all the streaming platforms pretty much.
And Napster, I haven't thought about Napster news.
Napster, yeah, that's.
I never used Napster. It was either LimeWire or BearShare back in the day. I used
Napster back in the day.
I never used Napster.
From New York, we were more streaming.
Music applications, games, the service is what ruined the world.
Oh. Oh man, was that a right one?
Well, I mean, like I know that like before the past when fucking LimeWire, Napster, and you'd have those commercials where it's like. You wouldn't steal from your grandma, so you wouldn't illegally download music. I'm like, that's a little
piracy is illegal. It's
piracy is illegal.
I love the exaggeration of those commercials.
It was like look, your grandma, me downloading an episode of Viva La Bam is not me stealing a fucking $100 out of my grandmother's wallet. Those are completely fucking different.
Hey, they were fucking hilarious though.
Yeah,
and we remember them to this day.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
it's because hindsight's 20/20 in that regard. It's like because it was like, yeah, that is a real big exaggeration. I was like 13 when those commercials came out.
But you remember it.
Yeah.
And how do you? What's the biggest thing for commercial? Remembrance.
Yeah, that's fair.
So long as you remember it, you're good.
I mean, I think the person putting out the commercial would want you to actually take something from that and change your fucking lifestyle. But
because no.
Dude, no,
that's not gonna fucking change it.
The person making it, that was their intent, I would think.
No, the commercial's meant to inform you. I think the intent is to inform you and educate you on what they're trying to sell to you.
Well, yeah, that was Dare back in the fucking day, but you know what it fucking did? Just teach me the fucking the effects of what's gonna happen.
That's the wrong one to go with there.
That's the worst fucking one. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like,
bro, you got youth groups, you got Dare that they do those commercials.
But they gotta try something, man. Because
when was the last time you saw like a freaking I haven't seen these since college days, like the little posters with like the little rip-away tags with a phone number. You want guitar lessons? Like.
It was more of a artistic installment. It was down in Wynwood, but it was kind of the same thing. For actual seriousness, like somebody doing like the snip the phone number kind of thing. No, it's been
2 years. Yeah, everyone.
It's been longer than that for me.
Yeah, don't we remember that for the wrong reason? I don't know what you mean, Bubba. Bro, but Dare? What?
Dude,
do you guys remember Dare for the wrong reason?
No, I remember Dare for what it was. Like it was meant
to. Horrible fucking.
No, it was a program to educate you on what it was like. Stop, drop, and roll was a part of Dare. Well, in New York, it was. I'm not sure. If
no, not down here.
It was a dog too. There was a dog.
Scruff McGruff.
Scruff McGruff,
Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
Yeah. So like, Scruff McGruff, you had the Tiger Dude, and Dare was meant for
the Tiger Dude was Dare.
Yeah. So like he was educating on like drug use, being aware of needles and stuff like that. Like that's what I remember him for. Now I don't remember it for. I don't know what the wrong reasons are. Like,
I mean, look, I remember the seminars that they had in my school. Like they would have a big Dare seminar in my schools. They bring all the kids in the
auditorium. I got a little tiger. I have a tiger.
Yeah, but no, they would have
a hat somewhere. Dude,
I was outside of Office Depot like in the middle of 2020. I went to Office Depot to get some supplies or some shit.
Yeah.
And there's some people out there like selling Dare like gear and shit, like face masks and shirt and all that shit. I'm like, I thought that went away. Like, what are y'all doing here? I thought this wasn't even a thing anymore. They're like, we got like a little off of the drugs thing, and then we're like, coming together as a community and supporting people and this, that, and the other. Would you like to buy something? I'm like, I want one of them face masks. I want that for shits and giggles. It's a kind of fond memory, but it's also just kind of funny. So,
Yeah, just like thinking about like the times like when you're in school, like there's a much more prevalent thing in your life, right? Because it's all over school. It's posted on walls.
It's shoved into your fucking face. And
but now as an adult, like we think about it, we laugh because it's like, man, there's some days I was like, I need a little like to pick me up. I mean, look, drink just to calm down some nights.
Maybe I was a sheltered child, but I didn't like in like 3rd, 4th grade when they were fucking
Any
3rd,
guys
4th, 5th
remember
grade.
Mr. Yuck?
No.
Yeah.
Mr. Yuck.
I have no idea.
Where-
That's Scuff McGruff and the Tiger. That's all I got.
Is that like some Scruff McGruff kind of fucking like character?
I think so. Oh wait, no. Remember, you guys remember those anti-drug commercials where it was like
The scrambled eggs thing?
the scrambled egg? This is your
Oh,
brain. This is
yeah.
your brain was amazing.
This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what drugs are you? Why am I the one that's
You know the
fucking
only
up?
reason I remember is because the chick was an actress, and then she was a hot actress. She was from Josie and the Pussycat.
Yeah.
Like back in the day. And I was like, she's hot. That's the only reason I remember that damn commercial.
I think the only one of those that I felt was like the most like factual was there was like some like it was like a don't smoke weed kind of one. And this chick's friend smokes weed, and she just like deflates on the couch, and it's like,
Oh, she becomes like,
yeah, she just
amazing.
deflates on the couch. I'm like, that one.
That's it.
I've seen that. That's a thing.
I've seen somebody.
They hit the
couch.
fucking nail on the head with that one.
That's melding into the fucking couch.
Yeah, like you
That's
become
it.
you become part of the couch at that
It's
point.
funny, like when you reveal, like when you find out, like how the cigarette commercials came to be, like the anti-smoking commercials.
Yeah.
You know they're all actually paid for by like Marlboro and Newport, right?
Yeah, they're paid for by fucking Big Cigarette.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I've been seeing anti-vaping commercials and shit.
Big
Like
tobacco.
like the
Big
same
tobacco, yeah.
the same
Yeah.
people, like the truth people.
Well, that's Big Tobacco because they were
Yeah.
sued into doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You know, in India, they have on the cigarette packets,
Yeah, like the
they have
disclaimers.
pictures
Oh yes.
of people with massive
Dude,
fucking like just
Same with the ones when I bought
what-
when,
like
fucking when we
and
were
then
in
they have,
Europe.
This is harmful. This will kill you.
Yeah.
This is addictive.
Nine-
Don't buy this.
nine
and
out
then
of-
people fucking are constantly fucking
They're
just chinning them down.
Yeah, it's
like
like-
nothing.
I think it was I forget the guy who's
I mean, it's like if somebody really wants to do something, they're gonna do it
He's the guy
anyway.
who hosts
So-
Ink Masters. He hosts Ink Masters. He's on. I forget
Ink Master. I don't watch Ink
The dude with the
Master,
tattoos?
really.
Yeah, no, but he's in a band. He's in a famous rock band. I can't remember him. Dave Navarro.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So
know.
he made a comment like, and he was doing a TV show. He goes, "I stopped smoking when I read."
Dave
Like,
Navarro, yeah.
yeah. So he reads the pack and he goes, "Ages your skin 10 years." I was like, "Man, make me
Damn.
question smoking." I was like, "That's
The
hilarious."
drummer for Foo Fighters.
He does drum for.
Oh.
I was like, "Yeah, thank you."
Okay, thank
Who
you.
is that Bubba?
No, that is Fizzle.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
But he
man.
made a comment like in an episode where he goes like he read a pack, goes ages your skin like 10 years, and he's like, "Man, I can't do that."
Fuck that.
Yeah, but I mean, you go back to like the 40s, and it was like 9 out of 10 doctors recommend
yeah.
Camel cigarettes and
Yeah.
shit.
Well, that's our education as a medical
I mean,
system.
Every
man.
single doctor was recommending like fucking just a shitload of sugar into like basically your bloodstream to
Yeah.
like make you
Yeah,
more energetic.
Coca-Cola had
Like,
cocaine in it. Yeah,
we
you
had-
got ghosts in your blood. You should do cocaine about it.
Well,
Some
but
shit.
if you want to talk about like bad medicine, you want to talk about bloodletting.
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 Oh,
Like
leeches.
mass-
well, leeches actually give up
leeches
a work.
work.
Yeah, leeches work. Yeah, they get rid of
Leeches
blood
and
clots and
maggots-
shit. Yeah.
leeches and maggots work.
Yeah, maggots because they only eat dead skin.
They only eat that skin, but bloodletting.
But it's also the
plague mass.
bacteria
Well,
that fucking
well, yeah, but then there's
maggots
al-
carry,
yeah, there's
and
also-
they're going into your wounds and just going, yeah, we're eating your dead skin, but we're
No, maggots-
giving you.
Well, yeah, maggots eat the necrotic skin.
No, no,
they
no,
don't
no,
eat
no,
the live
but
flesh.
No, but the amount of bacteria that a fucking bug has.
These maggots are
Yeah.
so they are medically safe bugs.
Yeah.
They're grown in a special.
Back in the day,
Oh, yeah, back in the-
day, they would grab maggots and go, yeah, just stick it in your open wound, and you're like, oh,
yeah, that-
the bacteria in my open wound.
Look,
yeah, that's fine.
back
It's
in the
like,
day,
bro,
they didn't
come on.
realize why beer was safer to drink than fucking water because you boil the fucking water you're making beer
Hey,
with.
but no offense, that's how medicine works. Like if you think about it, people back in the day didn't have an education of how what the hell is
I didn't know that. Okay.
bread.
Well, I mean,
bread. When people
yeah,
used to
when
take
it
bread,
moldy, yeah,
moldy bread
because it's
put it on
got
cuts.
penicillin in it.
Penicillin.
Yeah.
But no one didn't know that. But everyone was a wives' tale for a period of time until they discovered
Yeah,
it was
they knew you
Yeah.
put moldy bread on a fucking wound. It's got penicillin in it, but they didn't know about penicillin or anything. They just knew 1 + 1 equals you're not infected.
It's like the Spanish cure-all Vicks. It's like
Hey, that works.
Vicks
Or
and
your
ginger ale.
grandma beats it out of you.
Vicks and ginger ale, man. I swear, I never had so much in my life until I get a cough. Ginger ale Vicks, here you go.
Ginger ale, yeah, that was the
Ginger ale and Vicks.
thing. Yeah, upset stomach, ginger ale.
That's a good point, Fizz. That's why Mexicans drink tequila, because it's safer than the water.
That's true. That's so true. I
Hey.
don't, yo, you go to Mexico. We don't. When I go to Mexico,
I ain't drinking the water.
Look,
you don't,
either
you
way,
don't take ice cubes, bro. You don't take ice cubes.
Yeah,
You-
that's where I fucked up in India. I went to India, I avoided the water, I got ice, and I fucking got food poisoning for like 2 weeks. I was like, fuck.
look, the tequila or the water, either way, you're gonna be praying to the porcelain god at the end of the night. So you're just gonna be like, oh, why did I do
No,
this?
no.
You can drink
No,
tequila.
I'd much rather hangover than food poisoning. Any day of the fucking week.
I'd much rather not be
Any day
throwing
of
up
the week.
uncontrollably with stomach cramps and pains. I'm fine with that. I'm like, I will just,
Yeah.
I'll throw up, feel but bleh, but I'm like, I'm not throwing up and going, why does my whole body
Yeah,
hurt?
You're fucking pale, just like vomiting, shitting, and just dehydrates. Like,
Well,
no.
yeah,
We've devolved into a great conversation.
We've gone from video games to medicine. I love it.
That's how it works. It's like, where are we starting? I don't know where we're ending.
Oh man. Oh yeah, we're talking like so like when you when you go to foreign countries, what are your big things that you try to avoid?
Pissing off the locals?
Man, we didn't avoid that shit at all.
There is nothing you can do in the world that you'll be able to.
The worst part, we didn't piss off an American.
Yeah, the only fight we almost got into was with other Americans. That twice. That was the funniest fucking shit.
I agree with his fit to avoid pickpockets. That's man, especially in those super.
I was
highly
wearing that
trafficked
stupid thing.
area. Yeah, like having just like your wallet in your back or anything like that, you can't.
Well,
have
I was
I had pants with zippers.
yeah.
Well, no,
Zipper pockets.
No. But even then, there are people where you have like they'll
rub
see
up
your
against
pants and they'll walk around with razors, slice it, and grab it.
Yeah.
We
I was
also
walking
did have a
around
pretty
that
good
pouch
group
all the
though.
time.
Yeah, we were
big
walking
dudes.
around.
But I was walking around with a pouch under my shirt the whole time.
I remember it.
Yeah,
I remember it vividly.
Anytime I had a backpack or anything like that, all the stuff was here in the front, never in the back, because
Yeah, when we traveled, like, we did its utmost to be like as safe as we could.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
yeah.
His-
Loose women.
Loose women. We almost got fight in the club. We almost got
Yeah, that was.
a disco.
Oh yes, they're all discos over there. Yeah.
Disco. Mr. Balls.
Mr. Balls. The
This one was Dr. Balls.
Dr. Balls.
Dr. Balls there. The guy
I got what your balls need.
Got what your balls need.
Yeah.
What your prostitutes.
It was a brothel.
It was called a strip club. It's what we were informed as. We discovered that is not a strip club.
maybe
The pole
that-
was 6 feet high and only 6 feet wide.
Maybe that was just the word we turned around to. It's like brothel, strip club. Hey.
There was one pole and 40 private rooms.
40 private beds, six jacuzzis, the whole area.
I wonder what this is for.
And about 50 bemused hookers walking around. All right, so what's going on here?
Oh man!
Yeah.
But that bowling alley with the freaking detachable pins.
Oh god, yeah. We heard bowling. We're like bowling, and that was some
it
low
was the
red
night
bowling
that
I've
you and
never
Alex
seen.
stayed- You and Alex stayed home.
I remember you guys told me that.
So the bowling pins
Oh,
had
yeah, with
strings
the-
attached at the top,
Yeah.
and they just yoinked the strings up and replaced them down.
Oh, get the fuck
And
out
the
of
bowling
Yeah.
alley was maybe like 8 feet long. Like, it was
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it had like a 4-person bar attached to it, and that was it.
God.
Oh, my favorite story is definitely the G-Man breakfast, where we go out to breakfast. At
Oh, I loved watching that because I'm sitting there just sipping my fucking tea, just y'all gonna regret this.
Oh, we didn't regret it. We had a great time.
Oh.
I didn't regret shit.
No, we were
drunk the
How
whole
did the
day.
mid-morning siesta go?
Oh, we passed the fuck out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's what a
We had
mid-morning
y'all
siesta
had
is.
breakfast. We went back. I think we're gonna take an early siesta. Mid-morning siesta. We'll be good.
Slept the whole day.
Hey, Alex,
Oh, yeah.
what happened to them? They got shit-faced at breakfast.
It was a good time. We were grocery shopping. We had fun.
Man.
I
Dude,
love that
the
shit.
locals were all staring
the
at
only
us.
time I ever
The
regretted
guy
it-
was like, "Are you sure you want vodka Sprite at 8 in the morning?"
Yes, let's go.
Okay, I'm like, coffee and tea.
The issue was that his vodka Sprite was a quadruple.
That was the entirety of Spain.
Yes, it was. All of them were like, "You want vodka
Yeah,
Sprite?"
yeah.
Quadruple.
Hey, so yeah, all right. Ice,
Well,
cup, ice. Hey, so how's your day? How's your kids? How's your wife? Let me tell you about mine. Look at my kids. How's that going? We're about. You know what? We got a little more time. How you doing?
Oh, that was my favorite at the casino. I swear he forgot. He asked me about my kids. He found out my name. He's like, "Yo, how's the wife?" I don't got a wife, but can you stop pouring, please? I would like a little Sprite
For
to
the
fit in
love
there.
of God.
Oh no! My favorite thing about the casino was we're all just slamming it, just winning on fucking green, just green.
Alex, it doesn't
Alex,
make
like,
sense.
there's no way statistically this should work. That y'all are just
To give
hitting.
backstory, we're playing Russian roulette.
No,
Roulette.
No, we're playing regular roulette
Regular
in a casino in Spain.
Down the street from the Airbnb we're staying at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just winning. And
Yeah.
we're
And
putting
it-
all our money in one or
So
two
I-
yeah, on-
numbers.
we
And
all go in-
winning,
Yeah, zero,
winning,
double
winning.
zero. I've never seen it hit green this much in my fucking life.
4 or 5
It-
times that night. Like,
Dude, it was-
It was.
I walked away with $2,000.
It was
I walked
all-
away-
Yeah, I walked away with $800.
Yeah, I think I had about €1,000 out of that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, and I put 40 on my
Euro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a $2,000. That's a $2,000.
Yeah.
That's a number.
I mean, you didn't say dollars, so but
No, we
yeah.
walked in because I was like, it was all black when we showed up at the table, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna put 5 on green.
Yeah.
I hit again, and
I mean,
everybody's like, yo,
they had
boss
that
move.
little TV screen that tells you like what hit the past like 20 fucking
rolls.
rounds or something like that. Yeah, and it starts hitting green. I'm like, fuck it, I'm hitting green. I fucking went. Yeah, everybody fucking hops in. Alex like, there's no fucking way it's gonna work, and we just keep hitting it.
I saw you guys winning. I was playing blackjack. I was like, man, these guys are winning. I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm not winning. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna do whatever he's doing. I don't care. I don't care.
Follow hotness. No, and then Alex is over there. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but you know what? Guess who came out on top? The motherfuckers that were betting on green, and guess who didn't?
But going back to this.
I mean, he came up a couple hundred, I think, but not as much as we did.
Yeah, because he got in like at the last fucking 30 minutes, and it was like, all right, we're gonna leave.
But those drinks were free. What was it that we were Tiger the Pantera?
No, the drinks were free in Spain.
In the casino? Oh no, we had
we paid for those.
But I'm talking about like when Alex was searching for that drink. The Leche de Pantera or
Leche de Pantera.
Yeah, the fucking...
He was searching for some fucking, like...
And we found out the drink wasn't made for like 50 years!
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Terrible. Yeah. It was like probably some fucking...
Well, no, it's like torpedo juice, like what he told me earlier.
Oh,
it's like
that's
one of those,
shit.
It's like one of those local things.
I don't know. That was like a wartime necessity.
Well, no, this was like it's a drink they only make in Spain when we found out. And he was like, I want to have this because it's a Spain-only thing.
Yeah,
like the Catalan drink.
There's different spots in Spain too. Like I didn't realize, like Catalonia was like a completely different, like almost entity. Like they tried to secede, I guess, from fucking because, no offense, Spain proper, I guess, or fucking.
Our education system's not the best in the world, so like everyone thinks like one country is just this one country. Like if you think of China and Hong Kong, and Hong Kong just got back into China, right?
Yeah, I think
Hong Kong was forcibly.
Reintegrated
because
they could have paid.
No, it's
England had a deal with them for 99 years.
Hong Kong was fighting for the democracy. Then China released coronavirus, and then Hong Kong riots stopped. No more free Hong Kong. All of a sudden, everything went quiet, and now Hong Kong's part of China. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay, guys, if you guys wear a tinfoil hat, it works.
look, tinfoil hat.
If you want to talk about tinfoil hat, fucking last shit I heard about that was that Apple gave up all the iPhone data for all the protesters, like names, locations, current location, where they were at this time, all that kind of shit.
Well, when you buy an iPhone, you actually sign an agreement that
with any phone, it's personal tracking. They can tell you where you are at any point in time.
Biz's ex-wife's family lived in Hong Kong.
Oof, I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, they're doing good.
I have no idea how they're doing.
I have no idea.
Yeah, unless you've been there, how do you really know?
I've been to Hong Kong.
Well, no, recently
since COVID.
Yes, actually.
When did you go to Hong
Kong? Not during COVID. It was right before COVID.
Oh yeah,
it was like COVID. 6 months before COVID.
Yeah, since COVID.
Yeah,
I'm talking.
Yeah, it was like right
COVID had to happen after.
Trip,
I remember you going to Hong Kong before that.
Oh God.
What happened?
They said you should have been here last year. There was 100 times more people here last year.
Jesus.
I hope that means they left and not Tiananmen Square.
Damn, okay, bro.
Well, no, I heard
they've done it before. I'm just saying.
Yeah, when you see videos of what happened in COVID, like in China and Japan, like shoving them in trucks.
Even recently, I heard China's.
It's gruesome.
Even recently, I heard China's having like a fucking like some shit going on with their fucking economic system.
Yeah,
and everybody's getting pissed. Like the banks are fucking closing down and shit, something like that. I'm probably butchering it, but
okay.
Yeah.
It was because everyone wanted to leave. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because China fucking forcibly took it back over because there ain't gonna be a democracy within China.
Why are you gonna live in a country when a communist country when you know the difference?
Get the fuck out of here! No. Yeah.
That's like
the real estate economy is failing. Yeah. I mean,
everyone backed out of Hong Kong because everyone had a lot of real estate in Hong Kong and China.
And then China goes, "Oi, you don't actually own this."
It's like 99-year lease. Right?
Yeah, it's a 99-year lease.
Well,
exactly.
I mean, that's kind of what China does with like all the technology that's made in China. They legally are able to get all the information that is for what is made in their country. So say you go there to make something, even if you pull out, you have to leave them with all
because
America does that too.
America 100% does that because the second you sign, especially for any kind of
patent,
if you are working or you have funding from the government, you
can be privately owned too.
You can be privately owned, but that doesn't necessarily mean in order for you to work on something as like weapons or military you have to have the clearance from the current government.
Yeah, that's kind of a different category though. But I'm
saying anything regarding government or like something that can change the government significantly or provide significant power to potential enemies is going to always be mandated by the government because, for example, Elon Musk.
Well, yeah, SpaceX,
he's working on rockets and things to make them more efficient and stuff like that. So all information that his company does has to be mandated by the U.S. government.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually a big
And
thing.
there's
You know-
nothing
well,
you can
yeah,
do.
yeah,
to
So
get
because he
rid
went
of
on
Yeah.
Joe Rogan and they did smoke that weed,
Yeah.
right? You know they had to get drug test the hell out of him after that, and to make sure he wasn't like
Who, Elon?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. I think
Yeah,
he
he-
got
he
removed
made
from
it-
the board of
he made it-
directors at,
Yeah.
for Tesla, I think.
no, it was for SpaceX. It was for the government. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because they were like trying to show that he wasn't.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even though it's legal in the state, federally,
It's on-
yeah,
it's on-
federally, it's
federal
different.
What
but-
the fuck? So China apparently goes into low economy countries like South Africa,
Oh yeah, and
And-
they're building mega fucking cities.
and they
They're-
they build megaports.
Yep.
And they go, we will build you a port, but we will own it for 100 years. We'll build you infrastructure, but we will own it. So they
Yeah.
basically own the infrastructure of main Africa and South America
Mhm.
in order
Yep.
to expand.
Oh, that's why
properly.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that,
that's
and
why-
and they're basically just shipping a bunch of people
Well,
over
that
there to
comes-
build these big mega
Yeah.
cities, and then you've just got a big ass Chinese city in there in middle of
Yeah, right.
nowhere Africa that nobody was going to build anything with, but now they've built this massive city and they have
Well, the build
all
all
these-
is really, really expensive. Like, no offense, like that's one thing. A big topic is like, okay, if you go to a part of an undeveloped area, and developing costs hundreds of billions.
yes.
what country has developed as fast as China except for maybe Dubai?
Well, that's
like-
because of the size of the country.
As fast as China, America is the fastest developing country in the fucking in existence.
In developing other countries?
In existence.
In developing
America.
in developing countries.
Like creating buildings, creating infrastructures is not something that's
Well,
very, very difficult.
Abroad?
Creating buildings, creating infrastructure is not
Yeah, but
difficult.
having infrastructure last is difficult. That's the problem.
There's no way for us to measure that right now if it's just
Well, if you just look at, like, no offense, like, we have a great past experience on what we did in the Middle East. Literally, the minute we left, it just became.
oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But
I was
so
about to say
what-
great.
what I wanted to bring something.
That's a great
up.
example. A
Yeah,
great example.
yeah.
I want to
Okay.
bring something up with the so if a country like China, regardless of if I stand for them and for them,
Yeah, whatever.
if they go to a country that is is a lot more impoverished, like not South Africa, but I would say more of the other parts of Africa where it's a lot more impoverished. The government, the economy is not really as set up. There's a lot more war, a lot more
A
danger.
lot more tribal.
Yes,
Maybe.
instead of like our typical life. If they were to forcibly or unforcibly, Central Africa, if they were to put themselves in there and forcibly develop it, the pros and cons for a very impoverished country developing not on its own forcibly, what would that be? Because even though they are technically under China rule, because at that point they're owned by China, everything they do, everything they're grown up with is something that China is teaching them,
Yeah.
putting in their face. But
So so that's a big thing, and that actually America actually does it too. It's cultural appropriation. It's like
Yeah.
you lose your individuality as a
Yeah.
country, as a race, and I think that comes with that degree. That's what a big like. That's why everyone fights for that so much. It's like when you come into no offense, you go to Harlem right now, Harlem in New York
Oh.
City, and it's got the gentrification. Gentrification is like an influx of money and changing the topographical look
Same
of
same with Wynwood and like Little
Yeah.
Haiti right now. Yeah.
Wait, so you go into those countries and you forcibly put this infrastructure and you educate them the way you want, not the way that the traditions have been doing it for years and years. And it's like, okay, so they lose that individuality, they lose
Yeah.
that historical.
On the other side of the coin, it's like you're gaining quality of life because all these
is it-
amenities are
so-
now
so is it-
available
is it
to
fair
you and
trade?
shit.
Is it-
what are
yeah,
you willing to give up
for your
for the betterment
yeah.
of yours and your people's lives?
Mhm.
Like,
Okay, but you
is
also-
there something you're willing to give up?
But you also think about it, like, no offense, they don't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
they-
that's,
they don't know.
that's exactly
Yeah,
it. They're
so
like,
they don't know.
it's like, wait,
so it's like
I get free clean water now. Perfect, let's go. But they don't know what's on the other side of the coin.
none of us have ever lived that lifestyle either. So it's like it's
No.
hard to,
Yeah, of course. We're
So
talking
yeah, so
from,
it's all speculation.
we're talking from a 10,000 feet point of view,
Yeah,
like
so it's
10,000 feet above.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking from America. So
It's like, it's a difficult topic to talk about because you just don't know.
Yeah.
Like if you think about like
Sure.
as us growing up in America, like I grew up in New York, you grew up here, you grew up a little bit all over everywhere, and it's like you think about the things I learned being Hispanic, being Puerto Rican from New York. I'm New Rican by what I say is trade, but I'm first generation born in America. My brother we're in the same generation because he's my brother, but we're 11 years apart. My brother doesn't speak a lick of Spanish,
Mhm.
and he was raised here, we're in Florida. So it's like, okay, so he lost that ability to communicate with his grandfather, his uncles and stuff that live on the island in Puerto Rico, and he doesn't know the difference because ignorance is bliss. And he's like, I think I get by just fine when we go to Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
knowing that he's never going to have a real conversation with these people. You're never going to connect with these people on a real level, even though they're family.
well, I mean,
Okay.
Because like if they only speak Spanish and you don't speak English, that's why the language barrier exists. That's why I just use that.
But I mean, if he's I mean, I guess it goes to the fact or to the question of is he comfortable with how well he
You'll
can
always be
converse with
comfortable
people?
if you don't know.
But
yes, you'll always be comfortable typically in whatever society you grew up in, so long as you're not like, I mean, like abused to that level. Even if you're raised in a predominantly like racist kind of like environment and neighborhood,
isn't that
then
the most
you as a
racist thing
person
ever?
are comfortable.
Yeah,
You're
comfortable being
comfortable,
racist.
but you're comfortably like ignorant.
Yeah.
Maybe to the rest of the world.
That's why the statement ignorance is bliss exists.
Yeah.
Why do you disagree, Fizz? I mean, at that point, I believe it goes into the nurture versus nature.
Well, no, it is nature. It's like,
Yeah.
but that's nurture primarily because it's how you grow up.
Yeah, you're being raised, especially in a societal viewpoint, because I believe us as people, we view a lot of the things that we put
Social
value
cues and
towards
social- yeah,
it,
social-
whatever like social cues, like beauty. I believe is a social construct.
Being rude, not being right. Yeah.
rude, whatever the case is, but
Social etiquette.
most people feel uncomfortable. We learn to adapt to our environment. We can adapt that, but we adapt in extreme instances.
Yeah.
I believe that we don't adapt.
But what about the people that
when
can
we're
adapt?
comfortable?
necessity is the mother of all invention.
Necessity is the
Necessity,
mother of
but
invention.
I'm saying people that can adapt. Like, no offense, like the big thing that's happened since the '90s going to the 2000s is mental health awareness. Mental health awareness became huge going to the 2000s, and a big thing as a man, especially with the three of us here, like I was raised in that very toxic masculinity of like never show emotions, never cry, never do this, never do that, and you got to hide that factor when you're living your life. You got to take it the beatings and keep going forward.
Yeah.
And it's like I have my brother who's very emotional, very sensitive, and it's like okay, that's a very different thing. I'm
Life
happy
ain't-
mental health
life
awareness
ain't fair, get over it. Yeah.
If your brother who if your brother were to be thrown into, let's say, the 1930s,
Oh, he would not survive.
he would survive.
Depression era?
Because
Whew.
if
That's
your
a rough
brother
spot to
were
be
to
thrown
be thrown
into.
into that environment where,
World War II?
because no matter
Hmm?
what, I believe as a
No,
human,
it's like
we're going to
30s.
get to the point as people, if we get to that point where it's now survival, it's no longer I'm trying to live my life and I'm trying to be comfortable and stuff like that. It's more of I need to do this in order to survive. Then I believe your personality will change. I believe the amount that you take changes
But that
because
comes-
there is no other option.
I hear you, but I think based on who you are, that's how stubbornness is a thing. Like some people don't change.
Yes, I agree.
It's
I agree entirely.
Like if the circumstances are like the person right now gets pushed into that, it's like that's what you get.
Depends on whether or not you take that exception to your soul or you just decide this is the way things are. I just need to accept it, given a long enough timeline. But so
The thing is, we're talking something super subjective because each
Yeah,
person is going to
depends on
react
the
differently.
individual.
of course,
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely,
it's-
some people will acquiesce and say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna live on the fucking
Oh, then
corner."
there's some people just give up, and it's like.
And the other people are like,
But-
"I'm not gonna let
Well,
this
that
shit
comes,
fucking take me."
that's why you have fighters, warriors, and stuff like that, and then you have those that are just like quitters or whatever have you, and moving on forward. That's why you have the dregs of society and the people that succeed. A person that succeeds doesn't mean that they were never a quitter. They can be a quitter that just changed their viewpoint and pushed forward and persevered.
Yeah.
Now, some people are born with natural talent. Some people are born with the ability in a way that just gives them that natural road to go be successful. But then some people fight for it.
And that can work adversely too, just because you're so used to being successful
yeah,
at everything you fucking
And then you
do.
fail once.
when you
100%.
start fucking failing,
Failing,
and then
you
you're
go-
just like, I can't be the best anymore. Fuck,
Yeah.
and then just downward fucking spiral.
Depends on the
versus,
person.
I mean, somebody that hits fucking rock bottom, you got nowhere to fucking go but up. So I mean, you just fucking start lifting yourself up and up and up.
You would
and,
hope, yeah. But
I mean,
sometimes some people just don't see that light. Like some people can't see that positivity in that.
yeah, it's like you said, it's subjective.
It's
It
very
depends on the individual.
yeah,
So
And then
it's-
you also have mental health problems, like people that have depression, people that have anxiety and just don't admit that. Like especially like going out in the world. Some people can't go to a store
Yeah.
because the anxiety of that, and it's like interacting. Big examples like some people can't order food. Like they go to a restaurant and they have the waiter pick something for them, or have like somebody else pick something for them because they can't put their own pressures on people.
yeah, it's like what am I gonna pick? What am I gonna pick?
Okay.
But I mean,
Those are extremes, of course, but I'm just saying that,
But I
I'm
mean,
showing these examples. To people. Like, everyone has an
because
extreme.
they exist.
But I mean, I'd say that's
Like
also
some,
kind of societal though, because like something Jim Jeffries said was like he's a comedian, he's a successful comedian in America, and he's got multiple Netflix deals, he's got comedy specials, but he's not in fucking Hollywood movies, so he fucking hates himself and he wants to fucking kill himself.
Well, yeah.
Versus in Africa, what they're fucking thinking, in like the most remote fucking kind of countries is, I don't want to fucking die today. I want to get some food. I want to get something to drink. I don't have time to be fucking, you know.
Well, that's your reality point. Though.
Real
That's
quick, Fizz, thank you for the sub. And I do agree because the thing is, I believe that our understanding and our way of like having higher elevations of thought past the everyday survival thought comes from that comfortability where we don't have to worry every day about what am I going to eat?
Yeah, where's
What am
our
I
next
gonna do?
meal coming from?
Now-
Where am I
now
going to get a
it's-
drink? Am I
I
going to
know-
get fucking attacked today
Yeah.
or some shit?
I know
Yeah.
I know I'm safe. I'm gonna drive to work. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna research. I'm gonna think more. I'm gonna think more on my life. What is life? What's beyond life?
Okay,
what
so
goes
okay.
to this? What goes to this?
okay, you're talking philosophical thinking or actual physical.
Well, it's the idea where your mind goes from, instead of thinking of the everyday, I have to
the
fight
next
for my
moment. The
life.
next moment. It goes from next moment to
You're,
actually
yeah,
bigger picture.
you're no longer thinking about your everyday. Now you're thinking of, how do you feel? What about that? What about our society? What about this? What about that? Then you get to like that higher elevation of thinking.
So would you
which
say
I
it's
think
maybe
is
like a lack
great.
of purpose kind of thing that goes from like this survival
it's because
aspect
you have
to
the
what am I going to
ability
do with my
search for
life?
purpose, I think is what you're getting at.
It's
Yeah.
see that's a good point, because when you're at the point where you as a person think that your purpose is to provide food for yourself or do something like that, but then that is no longer a thing. You have food, you have all that stuff. What is your next purpose?
Yeah, you get the basic
Where
needs
does it
taken
go from
care
there?
of. So
Okay.
now what am I going to do? You know,
Yeah.
don't have to fight
What's
for
the next
survival. What am I going to do?
But then again, like as a society and as our history proves, like no offense, our biggest advancements in science, culture, food have happened and occurred during war.
Yes, because
Yeah. Oh,
fucking
thoroughly.
innovation. I hate this
It's
about
competitiveness.
the human society,
I hate-
but it's not competitiveness.
I do too.
It is competitiveness by definition, but I don't think it derives straight from competitiveness. I hate the fact that our highest boom of innovation comes from the suffering of others.
It's not.
Mm,
I don't.
It
I
results
think,
in the suffering of others.
okay, it does result. I don't feel that's the main point. Like when people are pushing for that, the Manhattan Project, everything that happened in those degrees were to persevere, to fight for their way of life.
Yes,
Like
Yeah.
you're fighting for your ideals.
Yeah.
you have a purpose.
Yeah.
it's
Because
when
but it's
when
also
the
a group
country,
of people.
Yeah,
It's a group of
it's
people
like the
coming
whole
together.
country is
Collective
together
purpose. Yeah.
to
That's-
common enemy.
Yeah. So
Common
everyone
enemy.
shares knowledge.
I mean,
Boom, boom, boom.
that was 9/11.
You tell me.
That was a collective country coming together.
No, don't get me wrong. There were a lot of wrong things that happened.
Oh, there was a lot of wrong things that happened, but
I was
just
like, I
as
felt
an
bad
example,
being-
I was saying like, shit, you were in New York at the time,
Yeah.
so like, but terrible fucking thing, people fucking died, but as a collective, you know,
It came together.
catastrophe brings people together, not for the best of reasons, but
Seeing the city come together and like help like move rubble. Like it was everybody going to Manhattan and just helping move rubble.
Oh, that's amazing.
but like, seeing that the people of every race, every culture in New York were there doing that.
yeah,
Now,
everybody
after-
coming together for a
and it's
common
like-
goal.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of bad things that happen from that. A lot of racist things happen. Like everyone going to the 7-Elevens and attacking the Muslim people. Going to
Which is horrible.
it is
Yeah.
horrible. I
That's
do
horrible.
agree. I
Mhm.
think, but you paint with a broad brush when you're hurt.
Yeah.
You paint with a real broad brush when you're attacked.
I mean, takes one bad apple to ruin the bunch
look-
for the
look at-
rest. So
look at,
that
what
was the
we
whole
just did
Muslim
with the
community at
cop-
that point.
During COVID with the cops, everyone started painting cops, and like a lot of people had their prejudices against cops already, but now they just had the ability to say it openly.
Sure.
And everybody was stuck inside and very
Yeah,
angsty.
that's going to a specific movement that I'm going to get to right after this comment. So Fizz says, the only person in this life you're beholden to is the person you see in the mirror every single day. You can understand that person and what they need to feel whole as a human being. You're ahead of the game. You are not special. No one is, but we are all special. The simple fact of being alive makes you unique. You don't have to look or work hard at being your own authentic self.
I agree with that.
I think it is incredibly difficult to look in the mirror every day or anytime and feel contempt with yourself.
I don't think you should ever feel content with yourself.
No, contempt.
Oh,
Contempt.
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 I heard,
Yeah.
I heard contempt.
Not impossible. I think it is.
No,
difficult.
hear the wrong word. Hear
Yeah,
contempt.
yeah.
Contempt. I think it's quite difficult when there's a lot of driving factors, especially in society, your everyday life, the people that you talk with
I
that
think
that can like boggle it down, or it's like, hey, you can do this better, you
I
can
know.
do this better, or like you yourself, hey, I'm gonna keep striving, I'm gonna keep doing stuff like this.
I want to say that wisdom actually gives you that ability,
Yes, it does.
because I think as you get older, you realize the importance of just being happy with you. Now, I'm not saying that I think with Fizz, I disagree with his comment a little bit in the sense like it's one thing you should be content with yourself 100%. I do agree with that. I think be happy for yourself. But I also want to say you should strive to be a positive force going in your society, in your culture, and changing that. I heard like three paragraphs pop up.
But I mean, if you're striving to, if you're striving
I feel
for
like you should
something,
be
then you're not.
providing a betterment to the entirety of your social standing or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
You know,
So I mean,
life's hard, man.
Life's always hard.
Life's hard, man.
I feel like if you give a positive thing to your
Yeah. It's like
community, even if your community's this big, like
it's like the pay it forward kind of thing. Like do something good for one person, then hopefully they do something good for another couple of people.
What do you giggle at?
Huh?
What do you giggle at?
Oh, just a comment by another user.
Yeah.
You're the best. You're awesome. You're the stream.
You're the best all around. Let you down. I love Rocky. Sylvester Stallone did a couple good movies in his life.
A couple. That man did great fucking movies.
No, we have to talk about Arnold.
Don't you knock him.
I love
That man did
Arnold,
great
bro. I was
movies.
gonna be an Arnold fan. Sorry, Sylvester Stallone not a good.
Well, one of the so to get back to
I was like, I had to make a light comment. We're going real too deep real quick.
we're gonna go back.
No, we're going back. I want to go back. I just want my comments.
We'll circle around.
To go into the cop hatred movement and stuff like that. I love the message that BLM has. I don't like the way that it was.
The extreme nature of it.
I don't like the way that it was executed.
Okay.
I don't like the way that it was done because it was all about hatred. It was all hatred, painting this group, something like this. Even though they did bring to light a lot of issues that the department that these people have, it's just I don't like that it was all about hatred and like doing something. And it always resulted in violence.
The message was right. The outcome and the the execution was
the
wrong.
intent was taken to a really bad degree.
I also hate the fucking people that actually own it. They didn't.
Isn't like Jay-Z a part of that too?
The people that created it, managed it. I don't know if Jay-Z was, but a lot of the people that created it, managed it. A lot of the money that they had, was used for their own personal gains. They bought fucking houses. They fucking paid for it with all the fucking the money that was donated.
Buses, yeah.
Fucking a ridiculous amount of money that was not used for any communities. It wasn't used for any goals. It was just fucking. There you go.
It was used to stir up more shit. It wasn't used for the betterment.
It wasn't used to stir up anything. It was used for their own personal gains.
To my knowledge, I could be vastly mistaken, but. For what I saw, it was mainly used to like go to different places and start more shit. When I was working in the trucking industry, I saw like 3 BLM buses that were full of people that were just stopping there to get some gas and shit, and they were going off to some fucking place to just start a protest there. I mean, good for you going to start a protest and shit, but at the same time, the money that could be spent bettering certain communities and shit like that, and bettering people's lives.
Opening up a corporation,
but I also don't know the numbers that they're working with.
Black-owned businesses a loan because they're struggling or something like that.
But the time BLM was doing that fight was like a very different type of fight.
I can understand this. At the same time, people are angry. It's like the Rodney King riots. Like people are fucking angry. They were fucking wronged, and they got
no offense. Like as a minority, being wronged is nothing new to Hispanics, to blacks, to any culture. Okay. In that regard, I just think that it was that there have been so many points especially in recent history with that happening. Like there was the one in the 90s, the kid.
Oh, all throughout history.
Yeah, like with the kid from Cuba.
Miguel.
I forget. And then there was another. Oh, what was his name? Trevor.
No. Wait, are you talking about the kid with the Zimmerman?
No. There was a kid in New York that was shot because he reached for his wallet and for when he got in a regular stop. But this all happens repeatedly throughout history, and it's like throughout recent history, and it's like there's got to be a point to stop. Like you gotta stand up. But now I do think riots are a little extreme. I do believe that. But sometimes you can't get your message across if you don't do something. Now, do I agree with how the message is brought to your face? No, not at all. I think there's a diplomatic way to do it. There's always diplomacy in the world. But I also know that people have earwax in their ears, so sometimes it's hard to be.
Look, I can understand if people are angry. They got nowhere to let out all this anger and frustration and shit that they have.
Well, no, plus like with that you have the people that have let it out the right way. They've gone to the community, said it at the peace at whatever their meetings are and stuff like that, and they're still not heard. And it's like and then this happens, and it's like I've been fighting for this for years, and then that's where you gotta be like, okay, you've done all the right ways. Do you do the extreme?
See, now I'm gonna get to a topic that's related to that. If you have a platform, if you have the ability to reach a lot of people with a message, and the message does not directly incite violence, should you be prosecuted for it? It goes against our freedom of speech First Amendment because it again does not incite violence. But for example, the Trump thing.
That's inciting violence. Hold on, no.
He didn't directly incite violence.
Yes, he did. He super did.
I don't agree.
I disagree. I disagree with your. I disagree with that. I think he incited violence with his comments.
With the manner of speech, and with the manner that he was going about. But just like a lot of the times when BLM were talking, they were saying things like that. It wasn't a direct call for violence because that's the big differentiator.
Yeah.
It's a direct call, or it's a hey. Blah blah blah. If this happens, whatever. Obviously,
what somebody gets from what you say.
Yes, you're not legally held accountable.
It depends. Again, it's how you say it and how you're meant to take it.
I'm
gonna use two big influential leaders in civil movements: Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you agree with Malcolm X's approach or this Martin Luther King approach?
I'm not.
So Martin Luther King was
Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a little more.
He was a little more militaristic.
He was more activist. He was
MLK was more
very much. He was passive.
Yeah, he was a passive approach. March on and everything, and let our voices be heard.
Trevor Noah.
Is that the guy from New York?
No, Trevor Noah is the fucking guy that took over the fucking what's his name show.
Joker when he shot.
No. Is that the guy who took over? He's on CC.
The fucking the gray haired dude. I think it's on Comedy Central.
Yeah, I was saying it's on Comedy Central.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's on Comedy Central.
Okay, give me a second. I'm looking it up.
You know who Lightfoot is?
Lightfoot? No, I have no idea who Lightfoot is. Unlike if you meant Littlefoot, I got that. I love Land Before Time.
It's a great show.
It's a great movie. What show?
Oh, you're right. It was movies.
I love that movie. That movie taught you about death. That movie was so. That movie was a big movie. It's Sarah, the only actual regular name. Petrie, Ducky, Spike.
It's such a hard thing to really put in law because let's take both instances that we're talking about. BLM and fucking Trump. You have both of those which. To any lay person,
this guy.
To any lay person,
the British guy.
Yeah, no, I knew who it was. I just couldn't remember what show he was on.
He took over for Carver, right? Stephen
Colbert.
He's not funny at all.
I actually enjoy him. I think he's
I don't think he's funny. So if you have both instances of BLM and Trump, they both to any lay person sound like they're inciting violence. To any common person, it sounds like both of them are inciting violence.
Both of them are very polarizing.
No, I'm not saying what they're saying. I'm just saying the manner of their speech and what they say sound.
And the way it's received.
I thought you meant
I'm saying like what they're saying and the way it's received to different people is very polarizing in very strong ways, depending on who's hearing it on what side of whatever fucking fence.
It grabs attention and it sounds like it creates a reaction, like an action.
Yeah.
Trump wasn't the president, I think.
But I mean,
of course, but to a lay person, it sounds like a
call to action.
A call to action.
Yeah, but
legally it's not. So how would you even how do you?
Now it comes to is the result of your speech this action, and because if you did not say this, would this have occurred anyway?
I mean, he didn't tell somebody to shit in Pelosi's desk, but I found it funny.
Both instances that we're talking about, BLM and Trump, resulted in
these actions being taken, right? Yeah.
In the words that they said.
That's what I feel like. I feel that if it's something that can be taken that way to that extreme by multiple people, by like a group of people, and a significant number of people, I think it was a couple hundred people for both of those actions.
It was tens of thousands. The walk on that street to the Washington was fucking like.
Well, the walk was
tens of thousands.
Yeah, but that's a call to action to walk versus like being physically violent.
No, they raided that shit.
Yeah,
and BLM fucking completely destroyed businesses.
Well, Trump supporters they raided the hell out of it.
Yeah, they raided the Senate.
He didn't tell him to specifically go fucking shit.
Did he or didn't he? That's the question, man. That's what he's asking.
That's what I'm saying. It's polarizing depending on who's listening to it.
I
and who's
feel like
talking
for me,
about
at
it,
my
so.
standpoint, I think Trump did. I think Trump called used words that were going to be taken the way he wanted them to be taken, and called to action these people to do this.
Yeah, I mean, in Woodstock '99, Limp Bizkit got charged for inciting a riot just for playing one of their songs.
Yes, because they were told not to and continued anyways. There's a difference there. There's a difference when you know. So it's like it's very similar to Fuck the Police. When they did it, it's okay. You know that you've been told, hey, this song brings people, makes them agitated, brings them to a level we don't want to get at. Now, as a musician, you have the right to do whatever you want. Now, at the same time, if you incite a riot,
Yeah.
you had your right to do whatever you want. You were told not to do it, accept the consequences. This is your action. Here are the consequences. Now, with the Biscuit, it's the same approach. Like, we talked about that because we watched the whole freaking video. It was like, okay, if you play this song, you will be arrested.
I mean, there was a setting in there too, because I mean, it was fucking.
But that song brings people to action.
Because I mean, Tech Nine's song fucking In the Trunk, like
Yes,
fucking.
Fizz, he likes clapping.
I do. Let me
likes
go.
clapping.
I like
He likes
clapping.
clapping.
I do. I talk with my hands. I'm asthmatic. Let go. I talk with my hands. Like, I'm sorry. I love it. I'm not sorry. It's me.
He's a very spicy man.
I am, and I don't like spicy.
Yeah.
You don't. You
I
think it's
really hate
spicy.
Dude,
You hate
yeah.
spicy.
Like,
I like
I
clapping.
thought the joke was white people thought mayonnaise was spicy.
I want to hit shit.
I'm not gonna say that, Fizz.
What?
Number one liberal telltale.
Got him!
He did. He did. I clap.
Oh Why did I read you?
I said I'm from New York. I'm automatically a liberal. I bleed blue.
Damn.
I'm from New York. I'm automatically a liberal.
I love it. I love it.
You know how many red people are in New York? Very few. Especially in the city.
I don't know. I think your dad's kind of on the fence.
No, my dad came on the fence when we moved to Florida. Now we
Well, to be fair, when you move to Florida, you change.
you have
You fucking change.
you have to. Well, no, I changed. I lived 3 months in New York and 9 months here. G-Man visited me once. He's like, "Is there a difference, Goofy?"
Yeah, it is.
It's like, I like this Goofy. I also tapped out of the bar. I was like, "Nah, we're done drinking, bro." I'm like,
like, yeah,
I literally
yeah,
Yeah,
tapped.
it's like, oh, you ain't in Florida no more, so you can't drink, huh? I ain't never seen this motherfucking tap. This is,
Yo,
I can't drink anymore. I can't do it.
I literally tapped. Like, I actually just like.
Yeah. The only time I ever fucking rooted for the Bills. We were in a bar and the fucking Bills were playing. Every time the Bills got a touchdown,
Giants, stop saying
Giants, whatever.
Giants.
They both got a fucking blue mascot. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
What? Giants.
I don't fucking care. I'm from fucking Florida. The only reason I cared is because they were giving free
We saved
shots.
your record.
They were
We
giving
saved your
free
record.
shots after every touchdown. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go, baby.
It was a blue shot. It was the cutest thing. I thought. Wait,
Oh god, yeah.
But then we started doing Patron. We started talking about everything with this bartender. Thank God she was awesome.
Yeah.
She helped out. But I was like, I haven't drank in 4 months, bro. I'm tapping.
Yeah, when you become lightweight because you ain't drinking like after like 3-4 months.
Because I'm
you're like-
working hard. I'm
you're
working
like,
18 hours a day. I'm like,
what is that? 3 beers? Yeah.
oh no, we went heavy. He showed up. We went heavy as hell. We were drinking Patron. We were drinking like we were going.
I came straight out of Florida. I was like, all right, bitch, you ready to go?
He was hanging out with y'all the night before. Like, so y'all's a word I learned here.
Y'all's, yeah.
Y'all? Oh,
Yep.
jit.
Oh, jit? Oh,
No,
yeah,
jit-
jit's a
jit-
Florida thing.
Jit's a
No,
Florida
I
thing. Don't
need
you?
jit.
Yeah.
Don't you say it.
I'm
from New
taking
York.
it.
Don't you say
Hey,
it
what
from
up,
New
Jit?
York.
Hey, bro.
Hey, how you doing, Jit?
That's Chad. But yeah. I blade blue. I do clap a lot. I am also loud as hell. I'm looking at this thing spike red every time it goes up.
Spicy Rican.
Every time he says
That's something. That's like, yeah.
Is that Spoopy talking?
Yeah, he goes.
All right, guys. We're gonna be taking a break, just a quick 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
Love y'all.
Thank you.
We'll be back. Need this shit show in a minute.
All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
So,
back.
Spooky
Ladies
had
and
a
gentlemen.
very interesting topic to get right back into this.
Oh, please.
I'm in combination with him.
How interesting? Am I gonna jump over the table?
I'm gonna
and fight
clap
you?
again. I love you, Fizz. Love you.
I mean, he gonna be animated, but we'll see what happens.
Most liberals
But
are.
we're the attacks are coming. E2 Brute, E2. But so we were talking about a topic off camera, and we got to stop ourselves.
Yes.
Because William Jewman over here decided to bring up he's like he felt some type of way. We were talking about BLM stuff, and he goes, "Man, I know I'm white, so I got tiptoe across this white privilege type of situation."
Yeah, but
It's like-
being Jewish is like like most of the holidays and celebrations that
Surrounded by your
go
enemies.
throughout the Jewish calendar, like 9 out of 10 Jewish holidays, or maybe 8 out of 10, are about the suffrage of the Jews and fucking being. You good?
Apparently, I just said the joke right there.
Clap your hand. Do it with your hands.
Let me do my chest. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Thanks. Oh God.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, like
Take the cock out of your mouth.
Passover specific.
Nothing wrong against that, but
You can do it.
Yeah, I'm done with you.
Jesus. He's talking about his people. For the love of God, have some respect. Have some fucking respect.
Stop making me laugh. Let me cough. Jeez. I'm gonna die over here in the corner. The liberal gone. All the right wing people were surrounded. Go ahead. Sorry. I didn't clap before it.
I forgot what I was talking about.
I'm sorry.
Your people. Remember your people. Remember them.
Remember the history. Remember what makes you you, the Jew.
Oh, well, like specifically Passover is the entirety of Passover is just celebrating the Jewish people's escape from bondage from Egypt and all that kind of shit.
You love bondage.
Nowadays I do, but my
Lions.
Not with the right there.
Yeah.
But it was probably like horrible suffering. In reality, it's
What,
like,
every other weekend, sure, but when you're building pyramids every other fucking day of the week, it gets kind of fucking tiring.
yeah, that's fair.
So,
Just saying.
so wherever you're going with that, that's my point on it.
Oh no
Yeah.
no! But because we were talking about it, and we were like, okay, and you were like, saying that, like, I'm white. If I say something, I kind of like.
Well, I mean, I gotta reserve myself on certain topics just because
But that's-
people's
so
perceptions.
But that's what
and
I'm
shit.
getting at. That's what I was
So-
trying to get at. It's like the perceptions, a societal perception, because you are skin tone or you have this background or you're
Yes.
from this and stuff like that, that you don't have a right to comment on a topic. It's like, as we're men, a big one is choice in life.
Yes. Do you mind?
Yep.
Does Passover equal celebrating part 2 of the Ten Commandments? I'm just. It was a question.
Who was it? Was it Fizzy again?
It's a celebration of the 10 plagues, though.
Okay.
Yeah. The 10 plagues.
You didn't need to answer, but it was a
It was funny. It was funny.
Well, shit.
funny.
I mean, fun fact: there were actually 15 commandments,
They are. And
Then
then
it-
lost the tablet.
and then fucking Moses brought them down from Mount Sinai. Everybody started bitching about too many fucking rules, so he fucking slammed a tablet down. Fine, there's fucking 10. Are you happy?
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And
We're
in
cool with that.
And Christianity and Catholicism mainly.
Yeah.
There's 11 commandments.
But so going
Anyways,
back to your point, I do so especially with your point of
Societal
childbirth,
Yeah.
abortions, and stuff like that. What do you feel? Do you believe in it?
Okay, so are you pro-life, pro-choice?
I am pro-choice to a degree.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what
There's a
else?
line for pro-choice. It's not all out pro-choice.
If you're in the third trimester,
if that baby is coming out tomorrow and you go kill that motherfucker, no, fuck you.
okay, that's great. But at the same time, a lot of people feel that because we're men and societal dictates, because we have penis, we shouldn't have an opinion on this.
Okay,
Where I disagree.
I
I disagree on that. Yeah.
yeah, but
then-
to the point. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
But getting back to that, it's like also the same point. It's like, okay, look, there should be a limit. There should be a line. So he's gonna say something about.
It was to the Ten Commandments. Go ahead.
But yeah, that comes with the societal what is it called? Etiquette.
Perception
Or
or
etiquette. It's like,
Okay,
okay,
etiquette.
what
Yeah.
can we talk on? What can you talk on based on your background, based on your privileges, based on your downfalls or whatever have you, being Hispanic, being white, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I feel that
Mhm.
everyone's opinion should be heard.
Depends who you're talking
yes.
to.
No.
Some people don't want to hear anything. They just have their own
Sure.
mindset on
But-
anything. And
But when you're talking about laws and the way that you govern the
When you're talking about something in a
people,
society level,
you need to have every single perspective, even the extremes, because I feel
in an
that
ideal world, yeah.
laws. No, in our current world, laws and the way that we make laws, I believe, come from the extremes because when somebody makes a rule in their business, going, don't touch the hot fucking stove, is because some dumbass touched the hot fucking stove.
Yeah, but that's all around detrimental. And that result, it has one line like, you do this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it's a bad thing. Yeah. Now, with something as abortion and going pro-life, pro-choice,
yeah.
it is ambiguous because there is no good or right answer there. Even if it's done the right way, like both consenting adults both went to that bed and.
Yeah, it takes two to tango, but
sometimes
until science goes and it doesn't.
It doesn't. In vitro is a thing. And then it's like, okay, but you're in a position in your life. You're in college. You're like about to start your career. You're about to do this. You can't do a kid. It's like that's where those things come out. Or like the other extreme. It's like you were raped or so on and so forth. It's like,
which is not as I think large of a percentage.
No, it's not. It's not a large percentage.
Like the fact that. It's like advertised. Don't quote me or anything like that. I don't know the actual statistic. I'm looking from like just seeing.
You're looking from the outside box. You're looking from the box outside.
Like that. Like rape culture's a thing in fucking campuses and stuff like that. It's like I don't agree that like fucking 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 women are raped just like that to like that level.
I mean, I do agree that not all rapes are reported. Kind of thing,
but
I would not be surprised about that. Yes.
And I mean,
primarily 80% of male rape is never reported.
Yes, no, 100%.
I mean, neither of those do I really have a leg to stand on, though. So because I don't know the statistics.
Oh, you've never wondered.
But grape is now a side swath. Grape is a thing. Grape is definitely a thing everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yep.
Grape is definitely a thing everywhere. It's
a prevalent thing. It's a part of our history.
Yeah, I think we're just talking about specifically USA because I don't have any knowledge about any other country.
Yeah, we're talking primarily where we're.
Oh, Rome was real.
Okay, we're not doing
real in the grapes.
Yeah, but so wait, going to the
let me just hear history.
Thing. So, how do you both feel if the law is pro-choice? Let's say I'm gonna use the actual world example now because America just did what they did. Okay. With the Roe versus Wade situation. Yeah,
that was weird with the Supreme Court. Yeah, so that's on a federal level.
What was it?
Yeah.
So federal level. They changed it to state level.
Yeah, state level.
What was the cause of that? Why did
honestly?
I
think my personal perception and belief is that they wanted the argument to stop being so focused on them. So they brought it to the state level
on the federal government.
So they pushed it to the states.
So they pushed it to the states, bring it up because the mass. Like so, you take every state and you got 100 million people.
I mean, originally it's kind of supposed to be like states' rights before federal, right?
Or no. Federal.
State is first, but if state is first, but at the end of the day, state cannot override federal.
But state, if it is legal in a state, you can still do it until the federal government comes in.
So, for example, is weed.
If marijuana was legal in California,
if you get arrested by a federal official, you're charged federal.
Yes, but you're not going to get arrested at state level. There's still the federal aspect.
You'll be in a state penitentiary though.
But at a state level, you're not going to have the local cops coming in and raiding your fucking pot shop.
Fizz used your code. It takes two to tango.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
So all right. So question: If let's say the whole country is pro-choice to a certain degree, or pro-choice period. If the whole country is pro-choice,
what's the line?
Do you not the line?
No,
do you believe the man should have the right to say, "I do not wish to be a part of that child"? If you have the right to say, "I want that child."
Okay, I'm going to say this before we start this conversation. I know we're stepping onto a huge landmine.
This whole conversation is a landmine.
Okay, just want to make sure
everything.
This is a big one.
I mean, at the same time, it's personal.
No, it's personal beliefs. I'm saying landmine in the sense
in the world where we're currently living in the U.S. and it's all pro-choice. Should the man have a right to say, "I do not wish to be a part of it"? If the woman has a right to say, "I want it" or "do not want it"?
Wouldn't that be part of the pro-choice thing?
No, it's not.
Is it pro-choice on one or the other, or on both parties?
Has always been on the woman. It's never been on the man. The man has never had a leg to stand on when it comes to having.
He has no legal way to fight that.
Unless the other party accepts that they do not want a part of that child's life.
As the woman, I'm saying no man has any right when it comes to women choosing to have an abortion or not have an abortion. The man has zero rights. Doesn't matter about the party. It doesn't even say if they want to let them have rights.
Involvement with the after effect.
No. involvement in the after effects fine, but I'm saying if the woman chooses this is it.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So-
No, but that's the woman.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
man has no choice. Where he's asking is like, okay, if the man, so say the woman decides to take
Yeah,
the turn-
throughout pregnancy, that is all on her.
No,
Well,
no,
well,
that-
that's-
maybe
that's-
I'm
what-
maybe I'm
that's what-
miscon-
that's
maybe I'm
what I'm
missing
saying.
it.
Try-
Right.
So for example, Fizz, he's a man with 2 children with a woman I did not want to have kids with, but I respected her choice to choose, and my life is a representation of that process. Understandable.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that decision. But do you guys believe
if you were
the woman has the choice to have the child,
Mhm.
do you as the man should have a choice to not be a part of that child's life legally? Meaning, no child
you're not the
support.
father.
You're not the father. You don't want to. You don't have to pay anything. You have no connection to that child, because if the woman has the right to choose to have her, or should you have the right to choose to not,
Not be a part of the kid's life.
But I've seen a woman choose to have a child and
Okay.
then choose to not have
The
the
woman has
father
no choice.
involved.
That's fair.
with-
No, well, the woman could
the-
choose
yeah,
not to have the
she-
father be a part
yeah.
of that life.
Yeah, but we're asking about
so-
the father's right. Like,
but
we're asking about
should
father.
there? Do you believe there should be some kind of law in the state that says if the woman has the right to choose, should the man also have some right to choose?
In some right, yes, but depend. Then it's on what aspects kind of
Okay,
thing.
sure. What aspect do you believe? Like, should he always pay child support, or should he visit the child once a month? Should he what should the father legally have to do if he doesn't want to be
right
part
now,
of the child's life?
legally, he has to provide for the child because he's the father.
But if he chooses not to be a part of that kid's
So,
life, then he would.
So we've talked about
and if the mother doesn't want to have the father at any
This is
part
where-
of the child's life, doesn't want anything to do with him, then if both parties agree.
but they don't agree. That's what we're
No.
trying to say.
But if both parties agree, then
But what happens if they don't agree?
Well,
I'm saying
But
saying if they do agree,
I'm giving you a counterpoint,
yeah,
I'm asking you a
I was finishing mine, then I'm going to the other.
Okay.
So if they do not agree, then it's kind of 50-50, I would say. Both parties should have an equal voice in the matter, but
okay.
Okay. that's
So
what we're trying to get.
if you're saying both parties should have an equal voice in the matter, then that means, what would you do, or what should the right or the law say if the father wants it but the woman does
That's
not?
not.
If she says no but he says yes, what is that? And then vice versa. If she says yes and he says no, what's that? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, so for me, I do. Like, look, it's your body. If you want to take it to term, you want to take it to term or not. And depending on the circumstances, there's extreme circumstances in every way. I'm not saying it's not saying this as an ambiguous statement. I'm saying like it's going to be a case by case basis.
Yeah.
But if the
Yeah.
woman doesn't want to take it to term and the man feels like it's his right, he fathered this child, he was a part of the process, and he wants to fight for it, I feel there should be an avenue to do that. Now,
Okay. What does that entail, though?
Yeah.
it's almost like appealing the abortion.
It's-
I guess the way to put it.
Yeah, but that
like at that point, would
No, it's super. I'm not saying.
I don't know if I would.
No, I feel you.
I would say that's more on the woman at that point, just
No.
because they're the one that has to go through the whole pregnancy and
No, I'm. It is.
Yeah.
It's a woman body has to change and has to go through all this process.
So Fizz's question: should I be required to pay child support if I do not want the child?
So I talked about this even before, and Fizz getting that type of statement. Me and him were discussing this, and I said, okay, what if the dad doesn't want anything to do with the kid?
Yeah. What?
So should there be a way for you to back out?
I agree.
And you would have to provide a monetary value. Like I honestly feel like you would have to do something because you were part of the initial process. You would have to. It's almost like buying your way out of a contract or buying your way out of a company, pretty much. And it's sad to say it like that, and I don't mean it to be like charging, putting a child's life into that.
I mean, at the end of the day,
would
that's
s-
exactly what every single government or body of power does. They put value to every asset they
So-
have. Citizens are an asset.
So, and that's what I feel like in that regard.
The army, they
Well,
put a
no,
number.
not the army, but I mean,
Every citizen has a number.
Every single citizen.
There's a
has
reason you have a social
security
security number.
yeah, but
Does the
Everybody has
government know
a
your
number.
name? No, but they know your social security number.
Every government is viewed in a very screwed way, which is in a business way, because they have to.
So
have
if you
government.
choose
Yeah.
not to
But
be,
anyways.
so if you choose not to be a father, I think if that's the case, and then value has to occur. Like it has to be an exchange of
Okay.
value.
So you have to have a perceived value on what. I mean, that's basically child support. At that
Well,
point.
no, but you don't pay child support. It's a lump sum. You pay it and done. You never have to see the kid. You never have to be a father. You just
I mean, it sounds like child support with extra steps.
I mean, that would.
That's what it is, because at the end of the day, that is what
I mean, ultimately, it comes to an agreement between the two individuals.
No,
that
guys,
tangoed.
it doesn't have to be an agreement, because if it's something you go through legally, that means it wasn't an agreement.
Well,
It becomes forced upon by law.
if it doesn't have to be legally, if you come to an agreement of
So when you
I'm
get divorced,
good,
it's
so when you
good.
get divorced,
like
so when you get a divorce,
whoa.
so when you get a divorce, it's an agreement. Both parties don't want to be married anymore, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know how much it costs to get divorced? $300,000. It's sad to say.
What?
It is the most
New
people stay
York?
married. No, it's the highest grossing legal procedure.
Wait,
I mean, look,
wait.
if you can get married in a courthouse, can
No,
you get unmarried?
No,
in a
you
courthouse?
can't. It costs so much to get divorced. People stay married because they can't afford it.
Splitting of assets, but
No,
I mean,
but
then
people
again,
can't.
I've never been married or divorced, so I don't have a leg to stand on. But
I'm saying, because I know this, because like my parents had an amicable divorce and it still cost hundreds of thousands of dollars
for splitting assets,
for everything. Like, you cannot get divorced. People stay married because they can't afford to get divorced. That's a thing in our country right now.
so if I go to Vegas, get
That's-
married, and then
I don't
get
know
divorced in
about it.
3
So if you go to
days.
Vegas, actually, because it's Vegas, you picked Vegas. Ironically enough, they have a system that if you got married while in Vegas and you were intoxicated, you can say, if you provide
You-
proof,
you can
annul it?
nullify the marriage.
you can annul it. And
That's-
it's a whole, because it's Vegas, it has law.
I think it's really just because of how like Hollywood portrayed like how
Well,
people get
there's a whole documentary on the business of
Man,
divorce.
I think it's just way too many examples
So-
of one way or another to really pick from either. But I mean, it's such a vast topic to fucking talk on between
wasn't-
two parties that
sure.
Yeah.
So
But it's a contractual obligation. Like, the thing is, like, divorce, because when you get married, getting married is $10.
I mean,
It's a $10 on the marriage certificate. You get signed. You go to courthouse. Bam, bam, bam. You're married.
actually, I think it's like 150.
Whatever.
It's peanuts compared to the divorce. The minute you get divorced, I have a friend that's
so the
married.
10,000 is just to nullify the marriage contractually
No, not 10,000. What 10,000? If in Vegas, it's free. If you're
in Florida.
in Florida,
If you want to nullify a marriage, is it 10,000 just to
no, it's
nullify
not
the
10,000.
marriage?
It's way more.
Just to nullify the marriage.
Yes,
Just
because you are now
Sign
you
here,
can be married
sign
1
here.
week. You can be married 1 week and get a divorce the next week,
Mhm.
and it will cost you close to $100,000. It's ridiculous.
like I said, I don't have a leg to stand on. So.
I'm saying like, because like I learned this when my parents did it. Like, you remember, my parents have been separated 3 times. When my parents got divorced, and I was like 22 when that happened, and I had to sit through all those proceedings.
it's a good point, Fizz. So getting back to
The abortion topic,
the
yeah.
question at hand: should the man, if you're in a pro-choice society, have legal requirement to pay or support the child if he does not wish for it?
That's what I was talking about. If you want to not be the father, right? You don't want to be the
If
father.
he doesn't wish to support or
If-
be a part of the child's
So
life.
I'm saying, like, you would pay a lump sum back out of that, and it would be
but
So-
a lump sum is the same as
So yeah, so the
you
answer
have
would
to
be
provide
yes.
something.
So,
There has to be a provision.
so it would be yes.
But why?
because you fathered the
If-
child. At the
if-
end of the day,
if
you
the
want
wo-
nothing to do with the child. Does that?
But if the woman chooses to abort that child, she has no
So
legal
actually-
or any. She doesn't have to do anything for
For the man.
Or if you don't
So-
want the child, but she does, are you legally obligated?
That's what
That's
we're
what
talking
we're
about.
talking
That's what we're
yeah,
talking about.
exactly. So,
So the other way around, I actually was thinking about this scientifically. You can actually take the baby to term as a man.
What?
I'm not
so-
getting into that shit.
So scientists have developed a way to transport the womb to a man. 3 men have taken a baby to term. So it's like, look, if you want the baby, you go through it. So I'm like,
wait, does it come out your ass or your dick?
No,
don't know,
it's
that's
a
safe
cesarean,
horses.
brother. It's a cesarean.
I need to know these questions. I need to know these answers.
It's a cesarean. But yeah, so you can now take the baby to term.
Okay.
So if
Does it
that's
come
like,
out the mouth? Or...
No, I'm not there.
Yeah, but like where,
Wait,
how, and
wait.
So there have been 3 babies taken to term, 2 in America, 1
How?
in
Where
Europe.
where is it placed?
It's
Yeah.
placed exactly where it is in the one.
in the fucking
Guys don't have an
ovaries,
ovary.
No.
or the not the ovaries, the fucking
The womb?
the womb, yeah,
Yeah, but-
the ovaries, yeah.
I love you. No, they transplant the womb too.
Oh, so
It's
we're
all-
So
we're
you- so-
giving. So all right.
So you get an upgrade and get a womb and a vagina.
No, you don't get a vagina.
All right, wait.
It's
So,
transplanting the
This is-
womb.
okay, okay. So,
Guys,
so,
okay,
so,
okay, hold on.
no,
Let me explain
so,
this.
so your answer is if the father wants the child
You take it.
and the mother does not,
You take it.
he will be given a womb with
No.
said child.
Yeah, he's taken.
You are now a seahorse.
Oh, he's
So it would be a transplant. So what it is?
whoa, wait. The mother at that point would then have to have to accept the fact that she's being
Oh no, there's an
Something is
artificial
being
one that can be
removed from
placed.
her?
Yeah.
and put into.
But if you're going through the legal system, it's a whole process.
Okay,
anyway.
okay. So your answer is if the father is willing to carry the child to term,
Yep.
which is what it is,
That's what you want. That's
Then-
what you want.
then that's your answer.
Yeah, because I'm like, look, they're both extremes. We're talking about extreme circumstances. But I was like, yeah, trying
Well, yeah,
to.
Men carrying a child to term is
this is definitely after the child is known to have
Yeah,
to
you've been
be there.
conceived.
Yeah,
He's been conceived.
this
Yeah.
child is already existent.
Well, depends on your term of existence. but
Whatever.
yeah,
The child's
yeah.
fucking growing.
The line would be
The thing is growing.
How
It's
my tooth.
So that's it. Okay.
And now it's not child support that we pay a lump sum. And the other end of that, paying a lump sum.
So
But you provide nothing else. Like you don't have.
So you
to,
provide a dowry for a child?
not a dowry. It's a child
You're
support.
paying a lump sum.
okay. So you're
A
paying
dowry is something you inherit.
So well
That's
all right.
literally by definition what it means.
All right. So then the other thing would be paying a lump sum, but is not able to be changed based on your change of economy.
This is what it
increase.
is. This is what it is.
This is what we value. Period. You have to pay this, and it can never be changed.
Yep. This is my contribution. This is because I was a part of the original process. This is me buying out of the company, pretty much. You're buying out of the kid.
Okay, so it isn't actually child support because child support can be changed based on
Based on
your salary,
certain
based on a lot of different things.
This is just paying a lump sum. This is what you're paying, and you're buying out of that kid's life. You are not providing an emotional support. You are not a father. You're not to be called for any other reason. This is you saying, no, I'm not part of this kid.
Okay.
The way I'm putting it is like you're buying out of the company. You are no longer associated with it.
You're buying.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
That's pretty
the
fucking,
value's
that's
there.
pretty fucking cold, though.
Right, you just-
No, no, no,
That's
we're
cold
talking-
as fuck.
That's how it works, though.
Yeah. hey.
You're
So,
when you're-
so what happens? Should the man get any sort of compensation or anything if the woman says no and he says yes? Well, no. Your point was him carry it.
Yeah, he carry it, and
So
then cheaper.
yeah.
Then
Your point was if you want it, you can carry it through a surgical.
because she's also losing a part of her body, it like has to go through that process.
Yeah.
And then she would also get a value that she has to pay, and same way.
Okay. So
It's a vice versa situation.
So if he wants it, she doesn't want it. He carry it to term, and whatever the case is.
Yeah, those are.
Well, which doesn't exist in reality. No, it exists
does.
in
It's happened
reality.
3 times, buddy.
It's already happened. You said it's
2 in America, 1 in Europe. I mean,
Yeah, so-
3 men have taken it to term.
so. Although it's probably insanely
So
expensive.
the reason they were taking the term was because a woman could not actually healthily bring the baby to term.
Oh, so it was.
It was extenuating circumstances. It was only done
So they
because
couldn't
it could
find a
only.
surrogate woman? Or,
No, it was extenuating circumstances. It would have been harmful for her.
But
Okay.
they couldn't find
No, you
another woman.
You can't put a woman.
They
in a
had to put a...
You can't put a womb in a womb.
Oh yeah, 7 billion people on Earth, 3 people. I get you, but we're
But
also,
that's how-
we're also
medical-
talking about it.
Yeah.
We're also talking about a reality where
But this is medical science. Like medical science, you have 7 million people, and you get one surgery that does it right. There was one person, I think, in India that had 4 massive organs transplanted as like a Frankenstein, and and they were able to continue to live. Medical science, when you go to those extremes, you're talking about something this like obscure and something this vast. It starts with one. It has to start with one.
yes, because at that point, then you start learning how to do it better, how to make it more efficient.
Well-
You have to start somewhere.
So a big thing is like burn victims. Burn victims. You know what the best thing for burn victims? Like
They do like the
Fish
the skin, the
tilapia
fish
skin. It's
Or
medical
tilapia skin,
grade
yeah,
tilapia
crazy.
skin that is placed upon their skin, and it took one person to do that. What do you say?
He's saying it's going to cost. It's going to cost an arm.
Oh no, yeah, armor leg. No, this is
Yeah.
not a cheap thing.
We're also
It is
not
nowhere
talking about.
near like the cost of just finding a surrogate mother.
Yeah,
some
we're-
kind of shit like that.
We're,
Like,
not, we're not talking about like our current era right now. We're talking about
I don't even know what we're talking about.
yeah. We're talking
We're talking
about a
scenarios
society
that- as it
where
comes up.
that may be a possibility in a normal
In 10
normal.
years. In 10 years, like
Sure, if that becomes a norm, and it's at that point it would become a lot more cost efficient because it becomes a bigger norm for society where men are carrying because the women
Just
no
can't.
longer wish. Whatever the case is, but
yeah, it just happens, and that
I see what you mean. I've never thought of that because I've never even heard of that. I think could agree to a point.
Mhm.
Not even though I could agree if
I mean-
if the man really wants to carry and the
then
woman
you take it. Yeah.
if the woman doesn't want it, all right. If the science and the technology is to that level where it's a norm,
Mhm.
boom, take it.
it's on.
You
as long
got
as,
it, bro.
As long as it's a healthy transplant, you're not going to be harmful for the person.
Of course. And
Whenever your surgery comes harm, but it's like that's where it comes to. I was like when I was thinking about it because when we talked about it last time, I thought about that. And I was like, man, I should use that topic as an arguing point. But like that's where it comes to. It's like you have to have those differences of opinion. Like,
Who's willing to go through the pain for it?
well, it's not just pain. It's just like
It's pain.
it's not just pain. I didn't say it wasn't pain. It's like you have to. It's a hormonal change. It's like the reason pregnant women are crazy is because they're getting all these different hormones in their body occurring to them because they're growing in life. It's like there's a reason pregnancy babies don't make sense. Pickles and peanut butter. I'll
Yeah.
never forget that in my life.
So, I think we've talked about this subject. So let's,
Exhausted the topic.
what's the next topic?
Okay, where do we want to go? You want to go more political, or we want to go fun?
Let's go fun. Then
we'll come back to political.
Let's go fun. Let's go. Let's derive the
Okay,
political.
so we talked about this the other day, and I wanted to bring this up. What do you consider an iconic celebrity of the time? So we're talking like because
Sorry to hear that, Fizz. We're gonna. Sorry. What was
go
that?
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
All right. Good. I apologize if I didn't like offended anyone. But we're gonna go talk about icons of the era. So me and Hodo were talking about this because we watched the Prey movie, and I'm a big fan of Predator, and he decided to pick Predator 2 as his favorite Predator movie. Hurt my soul.
Predator 2.
And I'm a big fan of Martin Schwarzenegger, and he defined an era. He was an icon. So what do you consider to be an icon or definition of a celebrity that like had like such an influence on the era of their time that determined what was pop culture and so on and so forth?
An influence on their time.
Are we just picking people per era that were
But per era.
influential
Yeah,
for
per-
us?
Yeah, like no, what makes that a person an influential person?
What makes them a person?
Because like we had this disagreement because he felt like Arnold wasn't influential for the time period of the 80s and 70s, and I was like, I disagreed, and I was like, he'd done like 60 movies. People became bodybuilders. People became like that was the ideal body at the time period. It was like you had to be like ripped to chat.
Yeah, that was before the movies though. That was when he was doing the Mr. Universe shit.
So
No, but he wasn't known then. Like he was an influencer. Like he's always been a bodybuilder, but he didn't impact the country as a whole until he started doing movies. Until Conan.
So fun fact for Prey, the dog in that movie was
The dog
was a rescue.
Yes.
It wasn't supposed to be in the movie, but it did so well they found seeds to put him in. I know that. I did not. Man, the thing is, I was really fucking shit faced when we watched that movie. Like
I didn't like. I watched it
really
again.
shit-faced.
I watched it again. And
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I
But-
watched it again because we were good. That was the
But
night of Jerry Cooking.
everyone fucking liked that movie. I wasn't a big fan, but then again, I was really shit faced. So like,
I watched it
maybe
again.
maybe if I watch it again.
So after we watched it, and then everyone said it was good, I had to rewatch it. I'm like, maybe we were just too gone.
Yeah,
Because that's the
maybe
night
we're
of
just super
that was
fucking
that
gone.
was gin and cherry coke night. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try it again. And I was like, I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't know why.
Gin
Okay.
and cherry coke. I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't know why.
So
What the
we were-
fuck?
we-
No.
Gin and cherry.
We didn't see it either until we tried it. And it was like,
And you-
I can't taste the
The
gin.
gin?
All I taste is the cherry coke, and I'm like, oh my god, I keep tasting cherry coke, and I can't fucking actually drink anything.
Woosah, baby.
Yeah, no. And then we watched it, and I was like, okay, maybe we watched it too messed up. And I was like, okay, I'll give it another shot. I couldn't see it. I was like, I felt it was like, don't get me wrong, women empowerment all day, but it was a little too.
I enjoy women empowerment.
No, I'm all for it, but sometimes it just gets thrown down your throat, like
Sometimes
the
it's a little too
Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, the remake was dog shit.
No,
That
but
movie
too much.
sucked.
It was too
but then,
much.
But then the reboot was fucking amazing.
The reboot was
the
great.
Reboot
The
Afterlife
was great.
was amazing.
Yeah.
That movie was. Oh no, yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah.
Was fucking.
It was a great passing the torch
Fucking
movie.
amazing. The fact that they got everyone, even the one that died, in the movie to pass the torch. The one that died was a ghost. I was like, that's.
I thought it was
Oh.
great. I think I can't say the reason they all signed on for it too. But yeah, but Prey. Me and you had a very different opinion on Prey, and Prey popular opinion is it's good.
Everyone liked
I
it.
also didn't like the Predator.
I don't go on popular opinion in movies. Like I don't go by the IMDb or this.
No,
that,
no,
the
no,
other.
but
Like
Shut the fuck up. Every single time we watch a movie, you always look at the
because it's
IMDb
fucking
rating.
right there next to the fucking.
Man, look at it. Like I don't go by it.
Shut
Like, it says this,
Shut
but
the fuck up.
yeah, but what was that fucking movie that got like fucking like a 2 point something?
We saw a movie. We saw a movie based on like space,
Rubicon.
Based on space. So the movie was. It was literally these people that were on this like
The ISS in like 100 years.
yes, the ISS in 100 years. It was only 3 of them. This
You guys
this
told me
per-
about this, yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
person discovered how to create algae that would infinitely create
Sustain
CO2 and oxygen and infinitely create food. And the Earth, from them up top, pretty much had like a cataclysmic event that made them lose all CO2, all oxygen, everything was fucked. So them, as 3 people, one of them a spy, one of them a scientist, and one of them like a pilot or something, had to decide whether or not they were going to go back into Earth in hopes of saving the rest of humanity, or staying there in order to just live their lives. I was like, that's a great fucking concept, because I have no idea what I would do. That is insane.
Yeah, like the inner turmoil of like people trying to.
Well, it's just 3 people.
Like, well, yeah, but then they're talking to like some people that are down on Earth and like a fucking base or something. They're like, we could try to do this, we could do this, we could do that. Like all the inner turmoil that goes on, with like
so
the conscientious or the consciential.
You choose to go back and try to save them, then dooming humanity to an end.
Yeah, which is Fizz brings up a good point. There's an algae that they're working on that can live in space and generate oxygen. Algae and fungus are the most insane things that we have yet to have a full understanding on.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
there are fungi that live in Chernobyl that eat radiation.
Yeah, because Chernobyl.
Fucking what? They grew because of the Chernobyl. It's like what?
Well, I mean, they adapted because of it.
They adapted because of it.
Like with
But not in a time span of fucking hundreds of years, like 20.
Well, I mean,
what?
like mushrooms and like the whole mycelium fucking network that fucking lives in them is like connected with the fucking trees. It's almost like the Avatar shit where it's like the fucking mother is like everything's
almost like
connected.
mycelium. I'm like,
mycelium.
Yeah, it was like oh.
Yeah, the mycelium. It's all connected with all the fucking trees and all that kind of shit and like fucking God, what is it called?
Well, that's what we're gonna get. 100% if the zombie apocalypse would happen, it's because of fungus.
The zombie one from Last of Us.
I would say like a virus.
A virus doesn't have
like the rage virus kind of thing. I'd say that's a thing, but it's not. They're not going to last that long.
The thing is, we have a cure for viruses. We can create a cure for viruses,
fungus,
bacteria, fungus. We have no actual cure for like a fungus kind of thing.
We have steroids that fight fungal infections, but
we have no way of understanding how to cure that outside of like destroying.
It's
a cure, just a.
Yeah, but that's you can look it up.
It's a thing.
It's a scientific thing.
It's insane. We have no way of curing like
fungal infections.
If a fungal kind of like infection were to like a startup like Last of Us, we would have no current understanding in science how to cure that.
Well, yeah, because it's brand new. There's no fucking
no. It could be like a fungus we know,
understood
like penicillin. It could be penicillin turns people into zombies.
Well, penicillin's been used so fucking much that there are actually fucking viral and bacterial things that are resistant to it.
You know how they get resistance, right?
It's not because people don't go through the full course of it.
No, it's not because of use. It's an actually weird thing. It's like when it comes to fungal infections, like that, not viral infections, fungal infections, the way the receptors receive the penicillin. That's the reason we have amoxicillin and all these other things. Like I'm allergic to penicillin. I can't take penicillin.
Really?
Yeah. I will die. My tongue will invincible. That's it's a baby. But you know how like you grow out of like what is it called?
I grew out of asthma. I don't know if that was anything relevant, but it's
just
something I grew out of.
Growing out of something like that is not
because like your
body. It's not unheard of.
I have no basis in.
Regardless of basis, like growing out of something like that is not unheard of. It's something that the body could adapt to.
Allergic reaction, stuff like that. You change your allergic reaction to a degree.
Yeah.
Like sleep apnea. If you're like somebody with born with really big tonsils, causes you sleep apnea when you're younger, but when you grow up and your tonsils don't grow.
Aren't tonsils typically removed at a younger age?
Depending on how bad they affect you.
Okay, so it's
like
not typical. It's more like
my brother had his removed and I didn't.
I had my tonsils removed too. It was.
Hey, you know what's funny? The way they do it is really hilarious. It's just a freaking razor wire put in your mouth.
It's apparently like not even that serious.
Well, it's a so you ever seen like how they grab cattle like sometimes with a giant pole or like a snake? It's a snake pole with a little loop at the end. It's exactly what they put in your mouth and.
Yeah.
So they take it.
Shocking revolution, Fizz.
Revolution.
People grow and change the age.
Yeah, no, that's true. But then it's like, but you think about fungal infections, you think about all these other things. Viruses, like H1N1, when they became prevalent, we found a vaccine really quickly, and then now with COVID, and everyone doing that, you think about flu, Black Plague, but we don't have an answer to the freaking common cold.
Nah, that's for monetary value, I think.
Okay, we're not talking tinfoil hats.
I mean, we can just go right.
It's like the cure for cancer's out there, but Big Pharma doesn't want to let it out.
Is it really that hard of a?
Moved to CA, terrible allergies.
Wow.
And I learned how to be allergic to California stuff.
Well, there are people that change their diets to the degree like
Yeah,
they get
that's
allergic
true.
to meat
Yeah.
or grass, or like you shift to like a severely the other way you don't eat any greens, and then you become allergic to lettuce and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It goes both ways.
You remove that, and your
I
body.
think Hindu
fucking-
son is allergic to corn.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like somebody. So say you grew up, you weren't allergic to anything, right, food wise, and then you take a diet and you go extreme for like a year. Your
body learns how to work with that deficiency.
Your body definitely adapts. I've seen instances like that where you eat shit, you change your lifestyle, and you will have things that like
that's harm you.
you no longer.
It can't
Like,
process
you
your
don't
body. Your
like
body
that
Yeah,
can't.
your body learns to adapt without.
Well,
when
big thing, like,
when it
for
was
me,
reintroduced.
When I was like
Exactly, yeah.
well, I'm on a hard diet now, but when I didn't take soda for like a year, the minute I drank the first cup of soda, the carbon dioxide,
hurts.
the bubbles, you feel them popping in your stomach, and this fucking hurts.
Hurts. Yes.
Yeah, so it's a big thing. So it's like your body does adapt and change, but then it's like we're talking about things that happen in seconds, like funguses. Like you can have a cancer. Some people have this drug-resistant cancer that literally, the minute they get start getting chemo, fights the chemo, and it's like, and it's intense.
Man, chemo's.
It's an extreme.
It's
You're killing yourself and killing the thing.
You're killing yourself in hopes of killing that thing.
That you
before
live
die.
longer than the virus.
Yes, exactly.
Live
You're
longer.
going. I'm gonna nuke myself until hopefully that thing dies before I do, which is like.
Yeah, the medical
Holy
science,
shit,
medical
that's
science
crazy.
takes leaps and bounds, and it goes like because of the way our culture is right now, and honestly, the sharing of information is such a
No,
big thing.
Fizz. No.
What?
Eats meat once. Are you gamble?
No, I don't gamble.
No.
I've only gambled casually with you guys do. I don't actively.
Yeah, fuck it around.
I mean, we just talked about being at a casino earlier.
Yeah, but I don't gamble. Like I don't go out of my way.
that was
Every
a
time I go to the Hard Rock,
once-in-a-lifetime
I'm like I'm there for a drink and hanging out with people. I don't
Yeah,
actually
it's true.
partake.
But
Why do you ask that question? Curious?
I'm a gambling man.
Is it because of my hands?
so is the hand. So is
It's always the hands. I'm just.
Oh, you got some gambling hands, baby.
I'm just a fan.
He's got the hand. So, but
But like medical.
I agree. The fact is, I feel that the reason we don't have an instant answer for something like a fungus, like a Elastops kind of thing, is just because it's never happened.
So the thing is, I feel it's science, and I think that scientists are because the way scientists think, so it's like different than what people like want to see as society as normal. Because most scientists are not normal. Like
Yes,
they're extreme. Like Einstein didn't.
The smartest
I mean, you
people.
You started this off with I feel like. So
Well, it's an objective thing, but no.
Yeah.
But this is actually I'm sorry, it's subjective, and this is objective. Like most scientists do not function well in society. They have a EQ, emotional.
IQ.
No EQ.
EQ.
EQ, emotional equivalent. Instead of IQ, it's EQ. It's your emotional, like how you connect with somebody emotionally, how you connect with society emotionally.
Mhm.
Your IQ's high, your EQ's low. That's what everyone associates with
Okay.
scientists.
same thing can be said with everybody you find at a comic book shop.
Well, So, but that's an emotional quotient thing.
I can see that because if you're thinking at a certain level, if you're thinking at like an elevated level, you're not going to be connecting with a common person
Because you don't see the world the same way.
Yeah, you're seeing,
Common
you're seeing
interest, maybe.
No, common person. So say you meet somebody on the corner, but you see the world in numbers and fractals, and they don't. How are you going to be able to share experiences because you see the world completely different than you?
Yeah, I agree. There are exceptions to the generalization.
Yeah. There's always exception to the rule.
This is a broad generalization.
This is a super broad. This is like very broad.
This is just a feeling.
Like so, the big thing, like we're talking about people that are smart, or think they're smart. Surgeons and doctors. Everyone thinks they're arrogant, which they have to be, because they have to believe that they are right.
So wait.
I'd say the same thing with mechanics.
When you are given a position of power, when you especially when
That's
lives
another thing.
are on the line, I feel you need to have that level of arrogance, because if you sway or if you start like
Lives are lost.
if you're like what's the word,
Backpedaling or
like hesitating, if you start hesitating on your decision, lives are lost every second. You need to have this
well,
boom 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 boom,
Especially
because
if people are looking to you for answers.
oh my
Yeah, but I'm
everyone's
saying-
like, what's this, what's this, what's
but I'm
this,
saying,
what's
but
this?
society,
Boom, 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 boom.
when you're these people, whether you're a doctor or a surgeon, society views you as arrogant. It doesn't mean like you just, and that comes to okay, IQ, EQ. It's like okay, I can't connect with this person because I have to be right. I cannot be wrong. I have to think I'm absolutely right. Some people also associate surgeons with gods, because I'm going in you, cutting you, harming you.
Oh, because of life and death in their hands.
Well, I
kind
mean,
of thing?
the practice of medicine, I believe, is
Not the practice of medicine. I'm saying surgeons.
no, but surgeon is always to do no harm, not
So
to.
surgeons. So the thing is, that's why I said surgeons specifically. surgeons thing is that we do harm to make you better, because they have to cut you, they have to harm you, and that's where a doctor, what is it?
General medicine, general practitioner, whatever.
An internalist,
I believe sometimes you got to make things worse to make it better.
Well, yeah, an internalist doesn't actually harm you, and that's why the Hippocratic Oath exists. But when you talk about surgeons are going in there, they're cutting you, they're butchering you. When you take out, a best part is the hip replacement. Have you ever seen a real life hip replacement? It is like seeing heavy machinery go to work.
No, honestly, I don't think I ever really want to.
So why do you disagree, Fizz? He disagrees, but
Disagrees with what? The whole
I'm not sure, but he'll say it.
Okay.
We'll get back to that. So the hip replacement.
Yeah, the hip, bro, you're going in with heavy machinery. Like you you literally have a chisel and hammer to break that joint up and pull it out. And pull it out and reattach a ball bearing.
Wait, the Hippocratic Oath. What does it say?
I don't remember it as verbatim.
Because as far as I'm aware, the Hippocratic Oath says do no harm.
It's literally a page long. It's like this page long, and you have to memorize it before you get to go.
Okay. I think that's what it is. Right?
Yeah,
the do no harm.
I mean, basically, it's like it's kind of trying to save as many people as you can, but I mean, at the same time, my dad, who was an airline mechanic, kind of has to do the same thing. He has to get certified by the FAA, has to do all these fucking rules, regulations, testing, and all that shit, because a plane that's got 120 people on it that's going to be flying from Florida to Colorado kind of shit. If anything goes wrong with that, he's responsible. So he has to take every precaution to make sure that thing is in tip-top fucking shape. Kind of thing.
So the thing is,
it's just doing the best that you can to make sure that you save people as best you can.
So with that, I'm going to disagree. I think you're comparing apples to oranges. A mechanical problem always has an end result that does not change. It is a result of something mechanical happening. It is always a function. Where a biological problem does not always have an answer.
To our understanding.
That's why it's called the study of medicine. Yes. Is that you are never given a degree in medicine that you know everything. You are a studier of medicine. You always have to learn new things. You always have to learn materials. It's an evolving thing. A mechanical issue is a constant. Because this didn't happen, this is a result. So say
but it's more of a just.
Does it evolve? Does it evolve while flying?
It evolves depending on what you're working on. But it's more of making sure everything that you do is to the best of your abilities because lives are on the line.
But I'm saying that the reason I'm saying apples and oranges is like, okay, every part in a mechanical object, like it's something that does not change. It changes with wear and tear, but it's a constant.
Mm-hmm.
Where the
human body?
No, human body changes all the time. It is not a constant. The human body changes all the time.
The liver moves? The kidneys move?
Actually, yes. You have people that have reverse organs.
Yeah, but they're still there.
Some people are missing organs.
Some people are.
Some people are born with the heart outside of the chest. So it's actually
that's also a very
but
rare.
It happens.
Kind of
I'm saying, but a jet will never do that.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
That a jet will never have its engine move unless you move it.
Yeah,
but unless you move it. Unless you move it.
No, it'll move without you fucking wanting to.
So,
that's the thing.
Well, when it's made, is it born with it? Born without it? When it's made, when it is produced, is it made without it?
It can be.
No, but it's produced. But it's produced to a criteria. Like I'm saying, there's some things that are absolute. Mechanical does not evolve as it moves forward. That's an actual truth.
Well, no, I was going with more of there's lives on the line with what you do, so you need to make sure what you're doing. I'm saying apples and oranges
because they're two different types of situations.
Well, yeah, but lives are on the line is where I was going at.
Okay.
I think that was the way I was looking at it.
Okay, I apologize. I disagree with the comparison because it's too varied. Yeah. What was he saying? What was he saying?
Man's the moderator in here now.
Yeah, right? He's like,
what's next, baby?
He was just going through the Hippocratic Oath. So I
just know nothing about another field. So.
But I see both arguments. So, for example, a mechanical issue like a car it is created in an assembly line. It is created with a very specific formula by machines in order to be made this way.
Mm-hmm.
There could be errors, of course, and that could result in a problem down the line. However, humans are not created in that same assembly line, in that same formula. They're created with a lot of different genetical issues, genetical differences.
It's not even just genetical. So, all the bacteria you're exposed to, all the enzymes. It's such
in order to go back to the heart thing. If a human is born with, let's say, their heart
outside of the chest,
not saying that's wrong. It's not the typical kind of parameters that we see humans as.
True.
So to deal with that, we have to evolve in our understanding of medicine, science, in order to help that person not just go die.
I don't think that was the disagreement. I think I was using that example.
You know,
to show-
I'm just stating
Yeah,
what I understood.
I was showing that example to show that because a mechanic, as you said, it's assembly line. Every piece in a car can be accounted for, even if it's missing. That
Mhm.
means that something wasn't done here, right?
But things can go wrong with the materials that you're given, which is why
But it can be accounted for.
TSBs happen.
But it can be accounted for.
Well, yeah, it can be accounted for after
And-
after so many problems happening. Then you have to now realize the problem. You have to
I
backtrack and
definitely
figure out
agree
where it
people
comes
aren't
from.
Cars, Fizz.
Well, yeah, people aren't cars.
That's what I'm saying. As a
I'm just a mechanic, so that I'm
The
just
Hippocratic
I'm
Oath,
just
But that's
by
relating it. And
definition,
I don't
is
know
do no harm.
dick about fucking
It doesn't
medicinal
harm, right?
field. So
It's
please
100%
excuse me.
do no harm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
do not harm. But a surgeon has to harm you. I know it's a hard viewpoint, and it's
Well, no,
because
actually,
when
I
you
would say that's an
harm-
easy. Yeah,
So
they
you're
gotta
cutting a
cut.
person.
They gotta cut you open to fix you.
it's
no, but
all surgeons view it this way.
cutting a person does not mean you're doing them harm.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
You're causing them pain.
I'll agree with him on that.
You're
Yes.
not causing them anything. They don't feel anything.
Just because they fucking drugged me.
Absolutely not.
When they
They're
wake up,
fucking
when they
knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
just
when they
because
wake
they
up,
drugged me
they'll
in and
pain.
knocked out. Yeah, no, I'll agree with him on
Eh.
this. They got to cause harm to fix it. Yeah.
Fix it. It's
Like
a
with my
thing.
knee surgery, they had to cut me open to fucking
That's why it's called the
reattach me and
Hippocratic
shit.
Oath, because
Yeah.
you have to harm somebody.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
you got to do harm to do
And
good. So yeah.
I feel that's a stretch on the term harm, because you doing harm in order to better somebody, that's not really you doing harm. Like you might be doing them harm technically.
Okay, so pause.
But you doing
so
harm-
So take your subjective. Take the subjective out of it.
Hmm?
Are you feeling? Are you causing pain? And it's objectively. This is you gotta
Even if
remember.
I'm
This is a contract you're signing.
Okay.
It has to be objective. Like you're not. It's not subjective. It's
Okay.
objective.
The Hippocratic Oath is to do no harm.
That's why it's called the Hippocratic Oath. That's why it's so objectively. Am I hurting you? Then I am harming you.
Okay.
Because I am hurting you. I am harming you. Maybe because I'm doing it for all the right reasons.
Mhm.
Objectively, this is that. Now, subjectively, I'm still harming you. You can feel you're not harming them because you're making them better.
Mhm.
Because you're at the end result, it's a positive change.
Yeah.
Now, that's a subjective viewpoint.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's why it's called the Hippocratic Oath. It's a whole. Bro, all doctors argue about this all day.
Okay.
But surgeons, that's where I was getting to the arrogance and the feeling like God situation. It's like
I definitely feel when you have
a life in your hands while you're doing surgery.
you have the God mentality.
You have to.
And with that, we're gonna take a little break.
Mhm.
All right, everyone, we're gonna take a little bit of break. We're gonna take 5 minutes.
Thank you for coming. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is such a 90s thing. I haven't heard that forever.
Don't touch that dial.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish they made that game.
All right. Welcome back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
So the first topic that we're gonna get back into as we come back is what makes a cultural icon.
We did stray off of that, yeah.
Man, we did.
Yes.
We went to Prey Predator.
So what in your opinions create I think at that point a generation.
It's
a generational cultural icon.
So
I would say generational, yeah, because like John Wayne was like fucking my dad, your
Yeah.
dad's kind of fucking shit.
No, my dad wasn't.
He wasn't cowboy movies and all that
No,
shit.
my dad, man. Yeah, remember my dad was 20 when he had me.
I never watched movies
What
with
was the time
pops.
period for your
My
dad?
dad was 70s, 80s. Like he's an Arnold
What
guy.
was the time period for your dad?
Same thing. 70s, 70s in high school.
But you also remember, where's your dad
80s.
from? Where did you grow up?
South Florida.
You're telling me
I'm
John
third
Wayne
generation
was in
South
New
Florida,
York?
baby.
He was around, but you gotta remember influence. So another big thing for influencing at the time
Okay.
is metropolitan areas, versus rural
Geographical
areas.
location.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Because like South Florida wasn't developed as much as it is now.
Yeah.
True.
It's way more. It was way more. Like when I moved here, there were cows across my street. Now we have a National Army Reserve.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
same thing. We moved back down here. I mean, fucking where the
So-
fucking hospital was and all that shit was all just middle of trees.
So like if he said it's John Wayne, because I know his love. His dad loves like.
Oh, he
Westerns.
fucking loves him. I hate him, but
Right, I can't stand Western movies.
Yeah.
But like my dad went to the gym because of Arnold and like Lou Ferrigno, all those people, and he grew up on that. Like
I definitely think Arnold was like that beginning strive to the like countrywide, nationwide of like bodybuilding, looking after your health, looking after
big
your body,
muscles, big like
muscles. And
liver shots, steroids became prevalent because of that too.
I have no idea what liver shots.
I would.
Liver shots?
We talked about this.
I'd like
I still have no idea what liver
to
shots
add
are.
on that. I would say what would make a cultural icon is controversy at the time.
Absolutely.
Controversy at the time, and like there's the saying there's no even bad press is any press is good press.
I disagree with that.
Essentially,
I-
kind of
I
shit.
disagree entirely.
Because there is
with-
bad press.
There
No,
is
don't get me wrong.
There is 100% such thing as bad press only if
Mhm.
your brand or your icon is already known. If, for example,
Mhm.
McDonald's tomorrow, there was an article about McDonald's coming out with the CEO has molested fucking 40 employees that was under him, that's bad press.
But it's not going to stop the convenience of it's at every
It-
fucking
it-
corner.
no,
People
no,
are
no,
hungry.
no, no, no. It
Continue.
will 100% stop. It will 100% drop their financial fucking
Well, yeah,
gains.
let's
But
drop
not,
it,
I
yeah.
did not to. I get because Netflix had a bad press situation too,
and
and it
Yeah.
did stop.
and
it
their
did-
stock market dropped massively.
yeah, but it did.
The whole cuties thing,
Yeah,
with the
that's exactly
fucking
what I'm talking about,
pedophilia
yeah.
and
Mhm.
bullshit like that. Their stock market, their fucking monthly users dropped
hard.
massively.
But it didn't kill
the
them.
time.
No,
but
it
it went back up.
No, it did not.
Yeah, it did.
No, it did not. Netflix has not fully recovered from the cuties thing.
Well, not fully recovered, but
Has it not? I thought it did.
No, it has not. If anything, they're
but it's still a
no, no, no.
thing.
It went so it dropped. It went a little bit back up. Then it's been stagnant and it's been dropping because Netflix has fucking come out with shit like we're gonna increase our fucking thing. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Netflix has done a lot of stupid shit.
Can we really say that's because of like the whole cuties thing? Like, yes, that would cause the drop in the
Okay.
membership kind of thing, but then there's also all these other companies that are coming out with these streaming sites,
Sure.
and then there's pirate sites
But,
and all this kind of shit.
but the argument was, is there such thing as bad press? Yes.
Well, no, the argument was about cultural icons.
No, we started out.
I went into the bad press thing.
Shifted to bad press.
Right,
So,
you're right.
But prime example of that is like, okay, so we take a look at this year, right? That's this year alone. Look at the Johnny Depp trial. I don't know a single person.
Polarizing.
Man.
Well, it is polarizing, but
The
it,
Johnny Depp trial
But I'm
was
saying, when's the
really
last time?
entertaining.
When the last time you heard people watch a trial?
Never. That's
Like the OJ. The OJ is
the
like
OJ was the most like
in,
publicized thing.
and
outside
then
of
the Johnny
Depp.
Depp trial happens, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm so happy that did occur because it showed that men can be the victim
Yes.
of
Yes.
assault and rape and
Yeah. Abuse.
in that way
Mhm.
because that's such
It
a
really did.
an undervalued or underreported
Yeah.
thing because of
It's,
society.
it's, it's not talked about at all.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I said 80% of male rape is not reported. But with that topic, and then
No,
but
not-
everyone watched it. Hell,
Not even
you
rape.
watched it.
Not
You
even
watched
rape,
it.
but just
I-
abuse.
Abuse, but like being a victim, like men
Just-
being a victim.
being kind of like the unheard kind of shit. It's like, you know,
Men being unmanly.
you can talk about it, but it's like just fucking nut up and fucking get on with your fucking
You
life.
can talk
Kind
about
of
what you
shit.
want. It never happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't care.
men being
Who cares?
victims, showing that a man can be a victim.
Yes.
And that was a big thing. But you watched the whole trial. Like when's the last time you saw a trial? When's the last time you looked at a trial that you weren't involved in?
outside of a TV show?
No, let's just say where you weren't
Fuck
involved.
no.
All my trials were fucking traffic shit. So.
No, I'm saying, when was the last time you actually decided to watch like Judge Judy or like whatever?
Dude,
hold on. I've seen a lot of
Not clips.
Judge
Watch
Judy
full of all.
fucking.
Fuck.
No, I'm
was-
saying where
Never.
you actively went to
Never.
your TV, put that channel on, and watched it. I'm saying actively doing it. Clips do not count. Clips
Yeah.
are something that happened by accident
Mm,
because you're scrolling. Because you're scrolling.
I mean,
Sure.
I would say I was influenced as much into watching the Johnny Depp trial as I was into watching like Judge Judy and when I was sick on a fucking day home from school. It was
but
something
on a
to
normal
fucking
day.
watch, and it's like the top suggested
So,
fucking
but,
thing.
but,
That's a good
this is
point.
a normal day. It's a normal day because you did this on a normal day. You had no extenuating circumstances. You weren't doing because you were sick. You weren't doing because you were bored or whatever. You did it because it was interesting and you decided to look at this. That's what I'm saying on a normal day.
No, I can't say I watched it just
That's
because.
what I'm showing. It's
No, but I would disagree because a lot of the times whenever like a Johnny Depp kind of thing like that would occur, it's usually the clip or something like that would occur that would be like, oh, she said this or he did this or something pretty much outrageous that you would never think a courtroom would have. And you're like, all right, I want to dive more into.
Okay.
I want to look at everything.
Yeah,
I want
that's,
to see everything.
So
I would say
when's the
that-
last time you did it to watch a trial? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, never. Absolutely.
Because I know
yeah.
you've seen clips of Judge
No,
Judy.
I-
I know you've seen clips of Matt.
I will say I was never
Clip.
invested in a trial as
That's
much
what
as this one,
yeah.
but it was because I'm also kind of skewed in my reason for watching it, just because I was always kind of wondering what happened to fucking Johnny Depp, where he went, and
Because
then
it
this
was
is
an
like the biggest
influential
fucking
person.
Yeah,
So that's-
he was
so-
a very influential person when
That's what I'm showing. That's what
in
I'm
our
trying to
fucking
show you.
time. So
Well, this trial was very. He's always been a part of our
Yeah.
lives because Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that. But I'm showing
Yeah.
that it's like that's what I'm like. Everyone's run into a clip. Everyone's done this when they're sick. This
Of course.
extending like when there's a circumstance that makes it happen.
Yes.
Now I'm showing you as a normal everyday thing. You actively chose to do this.
I actively chose to do
Even
this,
if you were into
so
fun,
I
but
did.
you were normal
so I
about-
had a leg to stand on when I
Had a conversation piece?
Yes, when I was talking about it, and
Because
I didn't just go on
It was
what
super
somebody else was
offensive,
memeing about or what somebody else was talking about. I actively actually watched it and went through the whole fucking
So that's
thing.
that's the point I was trying to make. It's
I-
like to show that it was an influential thing because nobody I've watched a trial, but that's because I choose to and I'm weird and
I try to keep my ass out of the courtroom most of the time.
I've not been in a courtroom.
No, I've never.
Yeah,
Well, I've been in a courtroom for.
I actively try to keep myself out of a courtroom.
But I'm saying, but I'm showing you this is something that is not an everyday occurrence in your life.
It's not.
You don't actively do this,
Yeah.
but because it was so influential
Yes.
to our time,
Yes.
you chose to do that.
Oh, that event, the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, is 100% one of the
Highlights of this year, for sure.
of this year.
Maybe this
by
decade.
fucking
Maybe
far.
this decade.
But I can also
I
say
wouldn't go as far as the decade, but definitely
started
of
with
this year.
2022, where we don't know. But
Yeah,
I'm saying,
it's
it
the
might be.
beginning of the
It might.
decade.
It might be.
But I could say if I did not have as much free time as I did, I probably would not have followed it as
Oh, yeah.
actively as I did. I just had a lot of free time, and
So I want to
was-
say because of how much you invested in. Like you, out of all of us, I think you were the biggest invested into
not
because you
as
watched
much,
it the
not
most.
as much as you would think.
Dude, every time I talked to you, you were watching it.
It was in the background while I worked.
Yeah, it's fine, but you were still watching it. Like it was still on your TV. It was
Yeah.
actively
Well,
on your
I
TV.
mean, to be fair, background noise is still background noise. It's not.
I didn't actively put it out in background noise. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I didn't.
100%. What was it was always a background noise.
Yeah,
I
but,
didn't have
was
it
like-
background
but
noise.
if you're putting something on in the background noise, is that going to fucking change what the numbers that you're putting into a fucking
Yeah, 100%.
QuickBooks?
Because you'll pause, you'll take a second, look at the screen. That's what background noise. Like eventually, the reason it's on your background is like it interests you enough to have it just be playing in the back.
Sometimes.
Yeah, white
But no, that's
Some-
exactly. It's not
white-
meant to be all the time.
White
Well, no,
noise.
there's-
I just need something in the background. I can tune it out when I need
there,
to fucking
there is
focus.
so funny enough. There is a thing that Netflix has done where they have looked at a lot of things that people have watched, and they are releasing shows, movies where people do not watch.
It
That's
just
not-
has it in the background.
the reason that those shows or movies are made and released are literally there just for background.
Yeah, active
noise.
viewing. It's called active viewing and versus just
It's
passive viewing.
always just there. So it's like pretty interesting to see. A lot of the trial shit and stuff like that. It's fucking super boring.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
the reason people were tuning in was to exactly what he was. If it's brought up in a subject in a conversation while you're out and about, It's to have it like this and on. It's to be able to provide a portion of input.
I don't
to
agree.
No, that's exactly what
I think people, the majority of people see the fucking highlights. They create their own opinion, and they're like, "Yeah, this is what happened."
No, that's exactly the case too. But I'm saying that more people tuned into the trial too.
Yeah, versus like a normal trial.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
I mean, normal trial
Nobody's
without a
fucking watching
celebrity
it.
that wasn't as widely known as Johnny Depp.
Nobody
As
gives a
much
fuck about
controversy
normal trial.
surrounding him and all this
Winona
kind
Ryder.
of shit.
Winona Ryder was very popular. Was very popular at the time when she had the shoplifting.
Yeah.
But you had what?
When she shoplifted.
Okay.
Yeah.
When she had the
well,
trial.
yeah.
It wasn't as big. Martha
Yeah,
Stewart.
yeah,
Martha
yeah.
Stewart, which Insider.
Oh yeah, Martha Stewart. Yo,
Such a big
love,
thing.
I love how her and Snoop Dogg are.
Our friends.
Oh, dude, they are.
That's why.
But I'm saying these are
Yeah.
celebrities that everyone knows, and you've heard about it. Like I literally just mentioned them. You all knew what I'm talking about. I clapped. Damn it. But
Mhm.
and I'm saying, but you didn't want to tune into the trial or anything, right?
No.
To whose?
Martha
Stewart.
Stewart.
Martha
Right.
Stewart's wasn't televised, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Fully televised?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
I
I
don't.
didn't know that.
I don't think. Can we check this?
I may be wrong, but check.
It's also a thing where it's like
Because I mean, I know she got.
if it's not like in our daily news or like
Yeah.
those.
Oh, it wasn't
daily
your
I mean,
news-
her shit was for insider
I-
trading, which is not as interesting as Johnny Depp's wife beating him and fucking all this other kind of shit. There's a little more
I wouldn't use
spiciness.
that
to
term.
it.
I wouldn't use the term interesting, but okay.
It's more thought provoking. It's more fucking attention getting.
But it's enough attention
Yeah.
either way.
Insider trading with Martha Stewart.
Yeah, how could this
maybe?
It
versus-
wasn't televised.
I thought it was.
Martha Stewart not televised.
Yeah.
But yeah, but so
But her prison sentence was fucking easy as fuck.
She's-
I'm not going to comment on it. I don't know.
At that point, she was what, like 70 something?
No,
Martha Stewart ain't that old.
dude, she ain't that old.
Martha Stewart.
No, not
She
that
got
old.
gray hair, but she ain't that old.
Yeah,
I
no.
thought she was older. Okay.
I mean, look, if you got Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg in a room, there's one felon in that room, and it ain't
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
No, I know.
That's the best part. You know, Snoop Dogg got kicked out of England.
Not.
Yeah,
How did you get kicked out of England? She's
Yeah,
81.
she's 80. I mean, I thought she was younger than that.
Bro.
I thought she was younger than that.
She's
My bad.
old as fuck. She's 81.
Yeah, my bad. I thought she was younger.
And still making cooking shows with Snoop Dogg.
Sure.
But
She's
Snoop
still
Dogg,
old.
Snoop Dogg back in the day was kicked out of England, and because they thought he was the wrong element, and then the Queen went, "Let him do his thing."
Yo, the
It's
Queen,
chill.
that's a whole other fucking thing.
Oh yeah, the fucking the Queen dying and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
Longest reigning monarch ever.
was she?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, by far.
Yeah.
She saw how many presidents? For the US?
16 or 13. 16 or 13.
Yeah,
Like
you were
that-
just talking about
Yeah,
this.
The fact
That was a
that-
meme.
the fact
Yeah,
that-
didn't make
the
it a
fact that she was
fucking-
in double digits is ridiculous.
I was like, oh, that's impressive because even if you think like how many presidents didn't run a double term,
Yeah.
it's like most like I
Which,
think
which is weird because usually presidents have like a really high percentage of.
seating
waiting
president
for
usually
the-
gets reelected. Yeah, it's a very high percentage.
it's like a 70 or like an 80% chance of being reelected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like the first president didn't serve a double term in my lifetime is actually Trump.
Ah.
Mm,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're all younger than me, so that
Yeah,
stands true
yeah,
for you
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
By what? Bitch.
33 or 32, right?
I mean, technically, you only
Yeah,
saw
100%
one term of fucking Bush Sr.
Sure. Still
Was he the president in 89?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bush Sr. Then it was.
But that was his
then it
second term serving.
Yeah. So, but you only saw
Yeah.
one term.
I didn't see
Then it was
shit. I was
Clinton,
born.
Clinton, then it was George W. Then it was Obama. Then it was
Wait,
Trump.
who do you say after George Sr.?
Clinton.
Yes.
Old Billy.
Well, Bill Clinton.
Blowjob Billy.
Hey, bro. my dad's favorite
Bro.
saying. He's like, I made the most money when Clinton was the president, and he made blowjobs legal.
Which honestly I think is fucking.
Dude,
Insane.
pause.
What, getting a blowjob in the fucking Oval Office? Dude.
Everyone in the pause. There's not a
What do you
president.
think fucking JFK did with fucking
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
The secret tunnels.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, the motherfucker that we were just talking about.
My president, not faithful or not.
That,
What? I
so
don't
because
give a flying
the thing
fuck.
is like because of our culture.
That president is also elected primarily with a large fucking faction of like Christian believers.
Because
and
it's a family
religion.
man. A lot of people
Yeah.
find on the
Yep, a
Fight
lot
on
of
the
people
fact-
have a lot more trust in a family man.
Yeah.
Which who
well,
holds
like
fucking standards and all that kind of
how
shit.
many?
Which,
Like I think there's a number for this. It's like how many presidents haven't been like a Christian or like bipartisan. I forget. And then,
yeah, I mean they have
yeah, it's a whole
one
thing.
of the highest portions of fucking people that vote for them. If you're pandering to these people, which I don't necessarily agree with, but whatever.
It
I mean,
doesn't matter because
it
you know
doesn't matter, you're not
you're
gonna
allowed to
The whole
disagree.
point of a
Exactly.
politician is pandering to the people,
Yes.
essentially. So.
You're a servant to the people as a mass. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, shit, the entire fucking government, essentially, like Congress, fucking the Senate, they're
Well,
all
that's the
fucking
whole point
elected
of
by the
democratic
people,
government.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah,
Now, is
blah.
that true? One can only hope.
Yeah. That's where we start wearing the tinfoil hats.
Yes. Oh, was that when the tinfoil hat?
Man, I thought the tinfoil hat came out.
The tinfoil hats come out when the Dolphins are fucking coming through on the TV.
God, everyone is up and about for this weekend's game.
For the what?
For this weekend's game?
Oh my god, it was a fucking amazing.
Apparently, it was a fucking major
Dude.
fucking comeback.
Oh,
I was like, I
yeah,
haven't
they
seen
were
shit.
they were down by 21
don't
points.
follow
Three
sports.
fucking.
Fuck, man.
I don't either. That's the fucking thing.
I don't give a fuck
Like
about
I,
sports.
You
like,
follow
I-
sports way more than me and him.
No,
by certain
dude,
degrees.
I
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
follow none of them. Like I got tired of the game and I went to start
So you
playing
see how
fucking
you know
DayZ
about
with
the
him.
points? I have no idea what the game is. I don't even know the team we played.
It's because I had a whole house of people fucking watching it. But
So you follow it.
no, I don't follow.
He's
They were following it
forcibly
for me.
Guilty by association. Yeah, that's it.
Forcibly.
Yeah, wasn't my idea, but fuck it, I fucking saw something.
Man, it wasn't my idea to get in the story, but it happened.
But dude, Dolphins, oof. Tua got ice in his veins. They were down by
good?
21 fucking points, and then came
Who were they playing against?
the Baltimore Ravens, which was supposed to be a fucking
You
shutout.
want to pause for a second so you can clear your throat?
Yeah. Went down the wrong tube,
Yeah.
but
I can see you're
Yeah.
crying. You're crying. Do you want to take the taking a break, brother?
Jesus Christ. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, because I just saw like John, Michael out. Everybody was out for the
I
game.
didn't even know they were out there. But dude, I can only imagine how much fun they had being out there in fucking Baltimore, and just Dolphins up.
Finned up. I was like,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
Like Monkey, Claudia. I was like, okay. I was like, I have way too many friends that are Dolphin fans. I'm like,
Well, yeah. Welcome to the fucking.
hey, we saved
Oh,
your
yeah.
perfect record. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
You know what?
We saved your perfect record. We defended it. That's all I gotta say.
Perfect
Dolphins have a
record?
perfect season record that was about to be broken by the
Yeah.
Patriots
Uh-huh.
until the
78.
Giants beat them in the
Are you-
in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Oh.
would you have assimilated Boston if they fucking got the perfect record?
No, because it's baseball.
The Patriots?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about Boston Red Sox. My bad.
Boston is
I'll
where
leave-
the fucking Patriots.
Whenever I think of Boston teams, I just go Red Sox because I'm a Yankees fan. So it's like that's my mindset. But no, I wouldn't simulate that. But we defended your title.
We, as in the Patriots, as in
No, we the Giants defended the perfect record. The only team to have a perfect season was the Dolphins because the Giants
then
beat
I
the
can
Patriots.
say that I can say I've rooted for y'all twice in my life.
Yeah, you damn right you did. As a Floridian, I know you
Easy,
did.
y'all motherfuckers.
The 2 times in the Super Bowl. Every Dolphins fan was like, "We're on the Giants side," because
Yeah,
everyone hates the Patriots.
never on the Jets side. That's
man.
that's never gonna be a thing.
Nope, it's like a Packers thing. I'm like, that's
Shit.
not my team. Now don't get me wrong, the New York Jets will always be the New York Jets, not the New Jersey Jets. But
Yeah.
that's what it is. But then again, I'm a Yankee fan, and my godfather's a Mets fan.
But they're both New York, right?
Yeah, man. And the worst part, it's like it's a city thing. It's only in the 5 boroughs. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. And usually, if you're from Queens, like you're the Mets, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, and it's not even like around the state.
No, I said 5 boroughs. It's the city
Yeah.
thing. It's a city.
Like Florida, you gotta go fucking.
Like you got the
different
Buccaneers
points
in
around the
Tampa,
state.
and you got Dolphins in Miami. It's like okay, that's a 4-hour difference. You got space. No, we had a series. The World Series was in the Subway World Series because you could take a subway from Yankee Stadium to Shea Stadium, which is the Mets. When the Mets played the Yankees in the World Series,
Mhm.
you just jumped on the subway for each game. They loved it because they were like, I don't gotta travel.
Yeah, they are easy.
I still have a shirt from that. I have a shirt, a baseball, a newspaper, the whole one.
Last time I gave a fuck about baseball was 04 when the Marlins made it to the World Series, won the World Series, and then they sold the whole fucking team off.
Never in my life give a flying fuck about baseball.
Really?
I
Well,
usually
not about professional baseball. I used to play baseball when I was little, but
can't play baseball when I was little, so it doesn't.
then I switched to hockey and found better things to do with my aggression.
We're not
my
talking about
teenage
we're not talking
aggression.
about ice skating. Let's not go to ice skating. That was a bad time for me.
Man,
How dare you compare
Ice
hockey
skating.
to ice skating, motherfucker? I guess they're kind of the same thing, but not as flippy.
How do you move it on?
it's wheels and blades.
It's funny. It's like I looked up this for some reason I dove deep on how an ice skate works, and it's like it's actually not a straight blade. It has a little curve in the middle.
What?
At the ice
Even
skating
for like figure skating?
no for all skates.
What?
Yeah, there's a tiny.
No, the ones when we went
Bro,
to
you can look
when
it
we
up.
went to the ice skating rink, they were flat on the bottom, and you had to curve it to fucking get the edge to dig in.
All
on.
ice skates have it. You can look it up.
It's like a microscopic
Yeah.
fucking like low curve.
So wait, you're saying they're rounded?
No,
No, not rounded.
On the
There's a
inside of
small
the
curve.
okay, on the inside of the skate,
Mm-hmm.
there are two edges on the inside of the skate.
Mhm.
And there's a little tiny curve right here. You can look it up. I thought that was funny because I learned about it from Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
What?
And technically, you don't skate on
No.
ice. You really, if you want to dive deep, you gotta. I don't need
I was
exact
just
science.
gonna say I'm better at rollerblading anyways.
I know both of you rollerblade and skateboard and stuff. I can't do that. Put me on two wheels.
Skateboard, yes. Rollerblade. Eh.
You rollerblade a lot.
I'm better.
I did. I was never good at it. No matter how many times I fucking went, I was always fucking bad.
I was like, you put me on a skateboard.
Longboard?
Skateboard, I fucking.
Any fucking day of the week.
No, I was
Longboard I
rough.
can do.
So outside of the topic,
Inline, great at.
so the topic was like when we were younger in high school, we went on some sort of function
Mhm.
to the ice arena here, and oh my.
For fucking JP's?
Yeah,
That
one- the
Yeah,
one-
the
yep.
Taft?
This is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the time where
Yeah.
I saw, like, people were like, I took my jacket off, I was smoking because I was how hot. That was how
Yeah.
hot I was,
Oh.
and I don't skate, but
Yeah.
this is not my thing.
Yeah,
Here-
I don't ice skate, but
You ice skate, bro. I'm gonna hit
no,
you.
I kind of figured it out, but I
You figured it out.
I-
It was fine going edge to edge,
I
blowing
roller
ice in my
hockeyed.
way.
Yeah, I roller hockeyed. I figured out that if I'm fucking just gliding flat,
talking
that
a
I'm just gonna
lot of
keep
shit.
gliding.
Yeah.
You cut it, and then you could fucking.
He's talking a lot of
Carve
shit.
in.
He knew how to ice skate way
Real
before we got
quick. Real easy.
I've
Because him
lived in
and Curly just
Florida
go-
my whole life. Don't talk to me about fucking ice skating, Mister New Yorker.
there. And I clapped because it's a reason.
Mhm.
Bro, you knew how to ice skate. You and Curly even talked about when you guys learned how to ice skate.
I understand the concepts of skating. You dig your fucking leg in and go.
I mean,
But yeah, so he made fun of me at the time. I've never went ice skating since. It's a horrible time for me.
I didn't make fun of you. I just skated circles.
Oh
around
my!
you.
Essence point.
I mean,
Nothing came out
wait.
my mouth. I just went wee.
Well, to be fair, the essence of
To be fair,
digging your fucking
I was being
heels
being a
into
dick.
that-
I didn't ice him.
No,
I couldn't do that
no,
shit.
I feel, but like that idea is the same for fucking skiing, snowboarding. You're you're
Snowboarding's
just
different.
carving.
No. If you're on rollerblades, you got the whole fucking wheel to.
Rollerblades is a little
Go in
different. Rollerblades is a little different.
Yeah.
and I feel like you're lying. I feel like you're lying to me.
What with the rollerblades?
No, anything. You forget. Hold on. Put something on his feet. He'll move.
Good time.
Yeah.
Wakeboarding?
Wait,
That's the time.
that was a salty time.
That was a really,
Really
fucking
salty time.
So fucking salty.
We went wakeboarding in the Keys,
Mm.
and it was that when we went, he go, it was salty today. I was like, okay, and then we got in. I was like, oh, it's really salty.
We went wakeboarding like near like Marathon Mile, and
Mhm.
the area that we selected had a pretty much one of those lines that would
There's a ski Rixon.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a line that
that
pulls
goes
you around.
this
They got the
way.
jumps and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, ski
Exactly.
Rixon. Yeah,
you grab onto it and you go.
yeah.
And me, him, Thomas, Frost, and Alex, we all tried.
Alex was there. George.
Oh, it was George. George was there. We all tried. We all did it.
Mhm.
Thomas and him are the
Thomas
only-
were the only
two
ones that got
safe.
up. Every time, every single person folded. It was just a face full of fucking
Oh, dude, that's how it
salt
starts
water.
though. Like when I first
But-
learned how to fucking water ski, just
But
try, like you
Yeah.
got your skis here.
Yep.
You start the
Yeah,
boat.
so
You
somewhere.
try to get up and BAM! Straight. That fucking water gets hard
I
when you're hitting
expected
your
that,
fucking face
but
down.
But that portion of water was so salty.
Oh yeah.
I did it in
Super
fresh
fucking
water, so
salty.
yeah, I didn't have that.
No, it
That,
was
that salt water.
Bro, we got
fucking
out and
face
tried-
Oh,
planted
I
through
know
it.
how it feels going like straight up your nose. Just like,
Yeah, it's just
so salty. We were chugging
Terrible.
water on the way back. That was the weight belt weekend. Me and you swimming back. I hugged George. I didn't know how I always thought like he was blowing it out of proportion, that George was actually like allergic to fish of any kind, like any type of scale.
Yeah.
And I hugged him, and I had a fish scale on my chest, and it transferred, and his skin just started bubbling. I was like, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah, so we
Oh, wait, but no, everyone thought we brought him there to die. Like,
we went on a weekend to the Keys,
Mhm.
just all the friends. Had a place there.
Mhm.
We all chilled, whatever the case is. George, one of our friends, is deathly allergic.
And I believe I know this, George.
I regret saying his name, but whatever. One
Yeah.
of our friends is deathly allergic to fish.
Mhm.
And we all went fishing. We jumped off the fucking dock, whatever the case is. He had scale or whatever on his person because fish are all
We
over.
spent-
Did all of y'all know that he had this allergy
We
beforehand?
did, but not to the degree.
Like we all thought it was like he was exaggerating.
It was like all right, whatever.
Who are you?
You're fine. Whatever the case is. So we get out. He hugs him and just
I was like, oh.
spread.
So like my mom with a mango.
I have never.
If it's that severe, yeah.
I've never. But it wasn't to the point where we needed like an
EpiPen.
epinephrine fucking injection at that moment. But it was like,
My mom took a sip of a
Guys,
drink one time.
don't touch me.
Had mango in it. Didn't even drink it. Took a sip of it. Spit it back out. Is there mango in this? Yeah. Fuck.
No.
well, drinking it
didn't need
is-
an EpiPen. No, she didn't drink it. She just had it in her mouth and spit it back out.
That's horrible because like having it here, you're
It's
not like
external versus
blocking
internal.
your fucking airway, especially if you're
Yeah.
like putting your mouth because you could.
Actually,
Whatever.
I'm going to segue this into an interesting topic because of that trip. Okay, you play games with everybody. You play games with your friends, right?
Okay.
Depend.
What are the rules to Uno?
What are the rules to Uno?
I don't play it enough to.
No, the
What,
reason.
what are the rules to Monopoly? I mean,
No, but
there's
that leads to
there's set rules.
Hold on.
No, because I was gonna.
There are definite rules to Monopoly.
Yeah, but there.
Yeah, but
Uno,
they're-
there's house rules, there's prison rules,
Mhm.
there's friend rules.
Mhm.
The
There
actual
are a
rules.
million different fucking rules.
It's like beer pong. Whatever rules you agree to play
But beer
by
pong- but-
when you
correct.
start the game.
But beer pong has like beer pong. Everyone knows the basic rule, and then there's like.
Mm.
But everyone knows most of the rules for beer pong. I'm talking about like. Bruh, I got
You want
nervous.
to talk about the reverse card and the double four or the plus four?
That's not even worse.
All right,
Can you
wait,
stack the plus
in-
fours?
Yes.
In your version of Uno, can you, if somebody puts a +4, can you put a +2 in order to pass it on?
In games that I've played, I also have barely played Uno, but in
Mhm.
games that I have played, this was allowable. I would be hit with a +4, and I would
As long as you had a draw card,
It was
so it makes
it was
it
a
like draw.
multicolor +4, so
Mhm.
then I would like a red +2 because it was a multicolor, so there was no color specified.
Well, you pick the person.
So, yeah, so I would throw another +2 on that, and then it would go to the next person. If they could throw another
Okay.
plus on that, then continue on.
Okay.
Okay.
That was just the way that I played at the
That's the
time
point,
that I
like,
can remember, but
Yeah.
it varies depending on who you play with and
Of
the
course.
rules that are
That's the
specified.
point.
That's
so,
what so
It
the reason I'm
always
asking.
varies.
So the reason I'm asking is because like
Mhm.
I discovered that playing with a good friend of ours, there are two games I'll never play with that man again: Uno and Monopoly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I did not realize the level of commitment he has to this game.
Man.
But yeah, so it's like some people play that as long as you have like a number going in order in the same color, you can stack the numbers like 2, 3, 4 in yellow. You can play all those numbers as long as they're the same color.
I don't like that fucking.
I don't like it either, and I don't usually play that way. But I've
I
played.
think Hasbro actually came out and said that you cannot stack.
Oh, the
Plus,
Hasbro
it's-
rules are there.
Yes, they have come out and said a lot of things, and the reply to their thing was, "I'm good. I'll play however the fuck I
yeah,
want."
exactly.
So when
It's
you,
like, you know,
so when you get to one
It's like
target,
D&D.
Yeah. Play
Here's the
whatever you
general basis of how you
Yeah.
should play it, but you know,
D&D is meant for like improvisation and meant to
Yes.
have like its own rules. You're meant to make your rules as you go. Uno has rules.
Uno has like official rules.
It's like it's a board game. It
and
has
is ignored.
it's ignored.
So
There's
does-
a difference.
so does Monopoly. Free parking isn't supposed to. You're going to get all the fucking money in the
I don't play with that rule. I've never played. I learned that rule later in life.
Free parking, what?
So all the money that's collected through like cards and stuff gets put under free parking, and whoever lands on free parking,
Yeah.
you see, it's
What?
that's I only.
Free parking is
It's like a lottery.
you get
Yeah.
$200.
No,
That's
no,
it.
no, no, no. Free parking is a free space to land. That's it.
That's all.
That is it.
No,
When you pass go, you get to
You get no money. Let's go. Go, you
Oh,
get
yeah, you're right,
$200
you're
when you
right,
pass
you're
it.
right,
If you
you're
land
right,
on it,
you're
you don't
right,
get
you're right.
anything.
Yeah, you're
Free
right.
parking is just a free place to
Yeah.
fucking
It's just
park
a free
your
spot.
ass.
It's a corner. It's
Yeah.
a free spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
But the way I've always played it is like anything you get through like the chance cards or the fucking the whatever the fuck else
you owe
cards.
money to the bank or something. It gets put
Yeah,
under free
you
parking.
put it in the middle, so
Yeah,
it kind of becomes a lottery. So the next person that hits the free parking gets that lottery.
Mhm.
So you get a couple of bucks to.
I didn't learn that
get-
rule until like 2 years ago. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
But like, so that's the reason I like the Uno thing, bruh. Playing Uno with I was like, okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop. People are getting angry. Uno got intense. But like, I've always played. So when you get to one card, do you say? So when you get one card,
It's Uno.
it's Uno,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Same as dice.
So when you play that one card, do you say? I've always played where once you play your card, you have to say Uno out.
Yes. When you when you get, I think it's 2 cards is Uno and 1 card is Uno out.
No, one card for me. It's always 1 card Uno, and then 0 when you play your last card. It's Uno out.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm just like
No. I'm just trying to remember, but I believe it's 1 card is Uno and when you have 0, it's Uno out. And if you don't say it and somebody else says it before
you take 2 cards.
Yeah, you draw 2 cards. Yeah.
I do remember something about
So that was
like
my
somebody
basic
saying
idea.
something before that, but
Yeah.
I always just slammed the motherfucker with the ferocity of the last fucking
Yeah, but if you're caught
domino that
before, but if you caught before, like if your hand hits the table and you don't say the word,
Yeah.
and somebody goes,
Yeah,
Uno.
you have to say it immediately as your hand is hitting the table. But then you get to the like.
oh yeah, no, it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm bringing it up because
It's like,
because it's like, yo, like what? Yeah, it's like when we played with this man, I was like, what rules are you playing with though? Because I don't know what we're doing.
Frosty plays with like the
Prison, like I got a steel chair to my face if I say something wrong.
Our friends plays with fucking prison rules where it's like you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. I'm like
prison rules Uno.
Oh man,
prison rules Uno
I didn't
is
even know this was
basically
a fucking thing.
prison rules
I
Uno.
didn't either.
The definition of that is whatever I decide is what it is. It's like all right, cool. Like what?
Okay.
The fuck does that mean? So it's pretty much whatever he decides.
Oh, we learned that.
I always just grew up playing fucking poker, 5-card draw. Like
Do you know how to play rummy?
what?
I know play rummy.
I learned at one point because of Trinity's parents. They taught me how to play rummy. At first I thought it was called Romeo or some shit. It was on like a camping trip they took us on. But yeah, I knew at one point in time. I've since forgot. But I mean, if we play it again, it'd probably be like spades. Like I played spades when I was in middle school. Forgot how to fucking play it until
Spades
somebody
in high school.
like started telling me how to play it. I'm like, oh wait, I fucking play this shit. Let's fucking go.
I didn't learn
I got $5, motherfucker. Let's
I didn't
go.
learn spades until junior high school, but I really started playing it here. Like, spades was a huge thing in high school here.
I never called it junior high school.
Intermediate school?
Yeah, middle school.
That's because
Just-
here I don't know how it works.
Just,
here, but like,
just my thing.
no, but it's Florida versus New York thing. Like public schools.
So middle school is 6 through 9, and then high school.
No.
6 to 8.
No, yeah, 6 through 8, and then high
Depends.
school is 9 through 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people have like 6 through 9. Some people have it through 7 through like it's
It
different.
depends on the state and all that kind of shit.
Well, you guys like when I moved here, in New York, when you get out of junior high school, you have to test into your school. It's exactly like college. Like you have to apply to school.
all right, here we go. So what about the FCAT?
That was my okay.
Tell me about the FCAT,
So he's
baby.
bringing up- he's bringing
I knew
up-
it's coming.
yeah.
So he's bringing the topic up that I felt like it's the worst I felt. When I moved here, I was like a month before the FCAT. And in New York, we have standardized testing all the time. So I'm used to standardized testing. So we get to the FCAT, and I take it, and I'm like, this is cake work.
Mhm.
And I say that out loud, and it's like just learning like the circumstances, social cues, and stuff like that. And I said it out loud, and I felt bad the minute I said it because like I got 2 huge daggers, like glares of daggers from my kids that left and right of me, and they're like seniors just trying to pass the test so they can get out. And I thought it was the easiest thing ever. And I felt bad. It's like, and then I discovered what the FCAT is here. It's such a different type of test to people that are in the school system in Florida. It's people that there were comments of like you gear towards the test. You have to do this. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
you guys don't even have like.
whatever you do throughout the year means fucking nothing opposed to the fucking FCAT.
And New York
It's like
Standardized
that,
Testing-
that defines where your placement is. Like I got put in like advanced fucking math classes
really does.
because I
It's
did
sad, but it
great
does.
on the fucking test, but I was terrible at paying attention.
I don't agree. Well, so you're talking about the FCAT, the SATs.
No, the
FCAT,
FCAT. That's the FCAT. Not
Yeah,
even the
just the
SAT.
FCAT.
The
The
FCAT
Florida
influences-
Comprehensive Assessment Test.
Yes.
the Florida Comprehensive Assessment Test
Mhm.
is taking during the
End of the year.
You know, it's during springtime. It's the springtime. It's March. It's aimed at March.
sure,
It's
but I mean,
it-
it's why you're going through the 8th grade to the 9th grade.
No, it's all,
9th grade, 10th grade, and the writing portion in the 11th.
I took it in middle school when I
You
was
do
in
take it in
Tallahassee.
middle school, but it doesn't count against
Yeah,
it.
when I was in Tallahassee. Yeah, it didn't count for like my comprehension and shit.
Yeah, it's a test. But yeah, it's such a big test in Florida that it actually, like, the reason people fight against it is because you have to teach the test. It's such a big thing.
My problem was I did so good at the test that they put me in advanced classes, but I just fucking slept the whole time.
Because in New York, the test is very important. Like, if you don't pass it, it doesn't affect you.
Yeah,
But it's not the end, like the end all be all. It's like, and we also like in when you're in high school, you have regions in New York.
Well, yeah, the FCAT isn't like determine if you go up a grade or not.
Yes, it does.
No.
In 10th grade, if you fail both FCATs, you get. I'm sorry, in 11th grade, if you fail both
In New York or Florida?
here,
Well,
you don't have the
FCAT Florida. Yeah. Okay.
So if you do not pass the FCAT in 10th grade and you go to 11th grade and you do not pass it again, you are held back. Until the law no one held back came out, then you had to keep taking the test and you would become a super cheater if you didn't pass. And in New York, we had standardized testing. Like, we did have a test like the FCAT, but it wasn't like, it's just as severe, but you think in New York, the education system in the public school system in New York is vastly better. And also, when you graduate high school, you have to take something called the Regents in New York. And it's on all the subjects that you do in high school. It's 12 tests that are like AP level tests. And if you do not pass them all, you do not graduate.
So it's essentially a comprehensive exam for your entirety of high school and what you've retained from it.
Every subject, yeah. It's called the Regents, and you take them at different areas. Like, you take different subjects at different times, and you have to take a total of 12 tests, and you get a Regents diploma and a New York high school diploma when you graduate. You have to exit out of your class, as it were. And junior high school, you have to do it too. You get an exit project.
Why so difficult?
Bro, I literally
Bro, when I
do
went to
not remember any single one of the FCATs or the SAT or anything like that.
I remember the SAT.
I never took the SAT.
I don't remember any FCATs and SAT. I fucking barely remember my high school, my middle school, or anything like that. It's like this, like
I remember all of them.
figments or whatever. Like,
I know.
all I remember is passing tests, not doing any fucking homework, going with my friend, jumping the fence, getting super fucking high, and just chilling.
Well, so that's a big thing, like educational system in the sense of like people rate it like how many Americans go to Rhodes Scholars, like go like to actually like what's the school in like they go to other countries to go to school.
Go to school abroad, essentially.
Yeah, go Rhodes Scholars.
What I know 100% is instead of fucking learning or trying to learn trigonometry and fucking like other more advanced
Math.
more advanced versions of like biology and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd much rather learn
Mitochondria is the
how
powerhouse
to
of the
do
cell.
how to
That's
do
right, that's
fucking
basic,
taxes, how to do your
Okay, so this is
like,
something.
like real life.
That was a class called.
I went from high school. I did a stint in fucking community college.
You're talking about like
And then I
general
went
knowledge,
to
for, like,
fucking-
learning how to write a check, learning
Yeah.
like
how to write a check,
how to balance your check, how to know.
what is a fucking mortgage? What is
What's a
revenue?
loan? What's a debt?
What
What's
is
interest?
income? What is debt? What is APY?
How does a
what is
credit score
APR?
work? Kind of shit.
I'd much rather have a class that teaches me actual life instead of fucking trigonometry.
Well, the thing is, you have economics, which does teach you how like loans and debt works.
But not even close to that level.
But not on a
of,
personal
like,
level.
Daily life
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
of application.
What the class was called? We had this ring before, but everybody wanted it to. So because it's like common knowledge is not common.
It's not,
Right.
not at all.
It's like-
It's not common knowledge for like the
Humanities.
everyday person growing.
How was it called? Humanities.
I don't know.
I'd,
Like
I'd,
learning how to cook, man.
I'd much rather. I'd
That's-
much rather a class.
That was a tech school thing. That's why they had
It
OJT.
wasn't always. It was in public schools.
Well,
It used to be.
yeah, they used to have
fucking.
fucking like auto fucking shop, and they used to have fucking
Well, there's
woodworking
actually
and
some
all this
states
shit.
that
Like
still have
in
auto shop,
my
woodworking,
dad's
and
fucking day. When we went to fucking school, it was you could have fucking OJT, which was you'd go to fucking school for half the fucking day, and then you
Oh,
go
you're
to,
talking about
then you
like-
go to one of the tech schools, like the
No,
fucking
you're talking
AJ.
about dual enrollment. You're talking about
No, it was OJT.
Oh, I didn't. I did dual enrollment because I went.
Yeah,
to
you
BC.
remember the dude AJ? That would go to Sheridan Tech and shit. He would do half the day at fucking Sheridan Tech, and then we'd come to fucking.
I went to BC for half the day because I did dual.
No, this
places.
is still in high school.
Yeah, in high school. I went
Yeah.
to BC and I went to high school. Like, and then also at my second.
Yeah,
half of
same
my-
thing. Sheridan Tech is part of the Broward County school system, so it's the same thing as BC, McFadder, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
It was called dual enrollment or dual
I
placement.
mean, same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause-
no, yeah. Dual enrollment. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
dual
OJT was you had a job.
Yeah, no, because I did
yeah,
that too.
you're right,
and I-
you're right. My
yeah,
apologies.
because I had both. I did dual enrollment and then I also had a job. I only went to one class
Yeah.
if I was there.
Yeah. I mean, I had no interest in doing the SATs or anything because I just wanted to fucking just take shit apart and put it back together.
I took
So-
SATs. I take SAT prep for ethics.
I had to pay somebody to pass algebra for me. He tried to teach me, didn't work. I paid somebody else in the end.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Fucking, I got paid to do someone's fucking math class for them, which I fucking barely did. That's the way to see or whatever. Fucking
Yeah, man, everyone makes money in their own way.
whatever. Fucking.
he tried to tutor
I
me and
admit-
Nick. We ended up just drawing like pictures of Simba.
I tutored
and-
Zach more than I tutored them too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would much rather have our our daily schools and the people that are learning from them
Public school system.
public school system learn more about the typical adult struggles and what they're dealing with instead of things that they could be taught like at a magnet school or like a technical kind of school.
I'm disagreeing. I do agree that there should be a class in high school that you have to take as an elective or whatever, but it's required for you to take that.
What kind of school?
Or
Or
life-
what kind of class?
Like just pretty much just general information class, like learning how to write checks, learning how
How to
to
write check.
balancing, but learning
what's a mortgage?
Mhm.
What's
Just
this?
General,
What the
General
fuck?
knowledge you're gonna
general.
need, like,
You're about to
what
go
are-
on your own kind of knowledge.
What
about
are taxes? What are tax
credit
brackets?
score, taxes,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, this
credit,
information-
tax
what is
brackets,
debt?
all that
Well,
kind
you
of
learn
shit.
tax brackets and you learn all that stuff, but you don't learn it to a personal level. Like,
You learn
it
it
as
at
a
like the
bag.
history level.
Well, no, it's ambiguous. And when you take economics, you
Yeah.
have to take economics to graduate here.
No, I didn't.
Economics, no.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Did not.
No.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. I generalized, didn't know. But yeah, you can learn that. But you don't learn it at a personal level. Like it's not
No.
you don't have influences you. Like a lot of people hate math and like dislike math and get that. But it's like, and it goes. The biggest response to people like learn geometry or something. When am I going to use this in my life?
Well, geometry,
Algebra and all it says.
geometry, algebra, you typically use a lot more than you actually
When
think.
was the last time you used algebra equation in your life?
An algebra equation, like a solving by y and x to get
Yeah. What is why?
no.
Exactly. So that's
In reality, I've never fucking
It's like
used it.
Geometry, yes.
Yeah.
geometry has a little
yeah.
more prevalence because it's a shape thing.
But, I mean-
But for the most part,
But you don't use a
it's
graph.
more
When's the last
just
time you
like-
used a graph?
It's more just putting equations into fucking Excel, and it just creates itself.
Pause,
and
Yeah,
then-
pause.
and then you just fucking auto-sum.
we are a very low number of people that know how to use Excel with equations. That is not something everyone knows.
Man,
Excel has an
it's-
auto sum option.
It's fucking incredible.
But when you got Excel, you did not know it.
No, of course. Like, they
But
also
I'm talking
didn't
about
have
him.
that
He learned
function.
Excel recently, like within 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's recent. You didn't
Almost
know
2
that
years,
knowledge
yeah.
beforehand.
Mhm.
That's what like you
Yeah,
are now a part of. The
I never
small
had a
percentage.
desk job. I was a grease monkey.
That's what I'm saying. But a lot of people don't know that either. It's like, and that's
the fact that Excel has like pretty much automatic equations in every single cell that we have is. I agree.
but knowing
It's-
how to manipulate those cells and stuff like that.
Excel is
That
literally a
is
class in its
so-
own.
Yeah,
Manipulating Excel is a lot easier.
but it's funny.
than
But it's funny.
people
You have
think it
computer
is,
class in
so.
high school, right? And they teach you Excel.
Barely. Like,
I did.
Nice.
We went to Everglades.
I took web
yeah,
design.
like fucking.
So I know HTML.
Yeah.
New HTML.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
you know, like basic.
I know a
HTML.
dead language.
There's like
essentially.
fucking.
bro, when you actively
C++,
learn Elvis or Klingon,
JavaScript, fucking all that
That
shit's
happened.
ridiculous.
What I'm saying, like that's the point. I'm like in public schools in New York, bro, it's like the education. Also, block scheduling is way too different than what I was used to. I'm used to like 45-minute classes, 8 classes a day,
Mhm.
and I came here. It's like 4 classes, hour and a half each.
Yeah. I mean, I just went straight out of high school
But again,
into
it's
into a fucking tech school and into
But
the
I'm
fucking
saying that it's
workforce
a
kind of
different
shit.
environment.
So.
In New York, I had to test in school. When I went to go to Brooklyn Tech and Stuyvesant, and I had to actually actively go to a different testing area in the school area, test for that school on a weekend, and hope I passed and was eligible to apply to those schools.
It's very different.
Which is like taking an SAT and applying to a college,
Well-
where it's like because there's like 1,200 high schools in New York.
Well, with that example, let's take the New York applying all that kind of stuff. Are you at that point putting an insane amount of pressure on the person, the student, trying to study in order to pass, just to have a higher level of education?
Okay, so this is where
What's the attrition rate? Is the
So,
next question.
With
With that higher level of pressure.
For example, in his perspective, he is trying to pass this test in order to be accepted into the school,
yeah.
and you're putting
True. You were going into a high
Yeah.
demanding role. So yes.
you're putting a lot of pressure by default onto this student who's not an adult,
Mhm.
he's a child, in order to pass his exam to get to this place.
Well, okay, so I do agree that it is a lot of pressure. It is.
Mhm.
This is true. But I think with that, you for me when I did it, I was like, you just used to it. You need that drive. You need that competitive nature to strive for the betterment of yourself in school. 'Cause
Okay.
when I came here, I got relaxed. I was like,
Okay.
it was super cake work. I was.
Yeah.
skipped my senior year. I literally went to school twice.
4 fucking days. No, 5.
No, I did midterms,
Mhm.
finals, and graduation. But yeah, and I was an AP course. I was working.
Yeah,
on it.
I saw it. I couldn't fucking understand it. I still don't understand it.
But in New York, if I do that,
Yeah.
no way.
For me, it's like, who is...
But I feel as a pressure,
Pushing.
as a pressure to succeed in school, I do not believe your education determines your intelligence. That is 100% not the fact.
Yes.
Agreed.
Correct.
Because I know a lot of people that aren't great students,
Mhm.
but are intelligent people.
Yes.
Not everyone's a test taker. Not everyone's a good student. Not everyone can just sit there and just learn.
Yeah.
They're hearing.
My tech school teacher said there are people that can
But it's
take a book test, fucking ace the thing, but they can't take an engine apart to save their fucking lives.
Mhm.
But there's people that can fucking just look at a fucking engine and be like, this is your fucking problem, take it apart, put it back together, and have it run better than
before, yeah.
it ever even came out of the fucking factory. Better than this motherfucker who has passed every fucking test on how to do this
But
shit.
and
And
the
shit.
problem,
There's more hands-on people and there's more
and that's where
people.
public school has the biggest problem. It's like every student learns a different way, and it's just the volume of students that public school has to take in and educate is such a mass number that you're not going to get the individual. And I think smaller classes will lead to better success.
I agree
Yes.
with that.
Because
yes.
like when I went to high school in our time, I was like I was in a 90-person class once. I was in an auditorium learning world history,
90-person class
That was
is
it.
fucking insane.
and it's an AP class. I'm in 90 people AP. Like we're all
Yeah.
striving to get this and go to college and stuff like that. And
But
that's a college experience. But that's it.
but a smaller class has to correlate with the professor that cares more.
I don't necessarily. I disagree with that. The professor is not
Teaching style, I would say.
because I've had bad
Sure.
teachers and I've still learned because I stroked up. But that's a me thing.
Mhm.
Like
Doyle was about the only one for me.
so the two teachers that come to mind that are because those aren't teachers, those are educators.
That
Teacher is there to provide a service, give you a subject, and hopefully you retain it, regurgitation. An educator is there to teach you about everything else. They are going to be that person that is going to tell you, this is life. Hey, done it. Here my example. Doyle and Dar. Those are two people I think of in my high school career that really influenced who I became going to college and taught me how to study and all this stuff. Like these are two teachers that cared about their students so much that they didn't care about how well you did on tests or how well you did on your papers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
What they cared about is like, how much did you learn from me? Like, what are you taking after this class? It's like I'm teaching this subject, but I want to teach you about life too. I want you to like see how this subject equates to your life
So how do
I want to
you
challenge you, I would say.
in a good way.
The way that others...
I almost got hit by a scalpel, but yeah.
so how do you have an environment that promotes those kind of teachers?
I mean, the way teachers interact with students is going to be vastly fucking different because everybody else in that fucking class was just kind of like going along with the fucking flow, and I was just fucking taking random fucking notes, doodling and shit like that, and then he just saw the fucking shit I was doodling, taking notes with, and just started talking shit to me, and like, you do your fucking job, I'm gonna do my fucking job, go fuck off and do all this other kind of shit, and blah 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 blah. And it basically came down to the point where he challenged me enough to make me really care about what I was doing, and I'm like, look, you do your shit, I'm gonna fucking ace your next fucking test, and then we're gonna fucking go from there. He was like, oh fucking really? And then from there I was like, now I gotta fucking ace this fucking thing, so let's fucking pay attention and all that shit. Not that I wasn't
But
before,
you have to have a teacher that has that drive, like
Sure.
because if
somebody that cares enough about you to really
not even
try and
just care enough
encourage you to
about the people that they're teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're never gonna get that, and honestly, the big thing for that is salary. It's like I think teachers.
That's my exact point. If you have a system where you're able
Oh
to
yeah,
pay
teachers
more
are being
people
dick.
and you're able to incentivize them to care more
yeah.
about the student, because they don't, at that point they don't have to care as much about their fucking daily wages, their fucking livelihood. They're comfortable. They're at a point where they don't have to worry about them paying rent.
They're more incentivized. No offense, you're gonna get asshole students. You're gonna get people
Sure.
that fucking try you all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they're more incentivized to try harder instead of just accepting that this is my life now.
Mm.
And honestly, teachers work off the clock so much. Like the amount of time that teachers work without getting paid is ridiculous.
They also
for the-
pay a lot,
Really,
especially like kindergarten and like the younger.
Pay for their decorations for their class and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's like they're
They pay a
undervalued.
lot out of pocket.
Undervalued and underappreciated. I agree
I'd say
with
it kind of
that.
depends on like the individual pupil kind of thing. Because I work better, with somebody fucking,
Talking to you, being hands on with you.
yeah, more hands on, just like fucking, just talking shit to me, just because it's
Let's say, so,
I can work well in that situation when put under pressure, kind of shit. But other people, when they get put under pressure, just
some people are test takers and some people are good students. They,
exactly.
They can
So
know the
it's-
information, but
it's very
take tests.
individualized. So I don't think you really generalize it, but
Well, you,
But when you're a person like a teacher that is underpaid, you are not as valued in current society as
it's not even just society. You don't value
think.
yourself.
You are struggling sometimes in order to pay for your daily or your weekly or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
in order to provide a service like teaching these young kids the society and all that kind of stuff. If you were paid a fucking very good wage, like at the equivalent of like doctors,
I agree. I think doctors,
then
like people
at that point you as a teacher should be at this level, because if you were paid a certain wage, at that point, because you're paid a certain wage, you should be held accountable
at a higher standard.
at a higher standard. Exactly. Then at that point, you will be put at a higher pedestal, at a higher elevation. So you're going to be teaching, you're going to be showing kids, you're going to be pretty much
they're educating the fucking future generation, which
Well,
exactly,
they always
but at
are.
a higher standard. But the only reason is because you're paid a very comfortable wage. You're paid a wage that you can live and have
I think that
objectively a good life.
I mean, just because somebody's paid more doesn't mean they're going to be able to teach better.
So actually,
they'll be more
True.
involved with it. Yes.
Sure.
they have a
To
drive
an
to do more.
extent.
So I was actually going to get to that point too. It's like it's one part is like, okay, give them a higher salary. The second part, honestly, because you have a higher salary, you're going to be held to a higher standard.
Yes.
And as doctors are, they
That's
be
always the thing,
scrutinized
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So you should have because of that, you're going to weed out the bad teachers. You're going to
Yes.
weed out the people that are just there for the check. You're gonna, and it's that will come because the standard is going to be to this precipice. I'm paying you this much. Now that I'm paying you this much, why do I continue to do it?
Yep.
I want to make sure I'm getting my bang for my buck as a school, as a whatever it is, because that's what happened to doctors. Doctors are scrutinized to hell.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, same thing.
Every single issue, every single error, every single issue that they have, they're scrutinized by the board, by every single doctor. I believe that the government wise, not outside of government wise, the highest three paid positions are the teachers, the healers, and the protectors.
Outside of the U.S.
Government wise,
He's talking about like generic jobs, like
government,
these three job
the
profiles.
things that are paid
Yeah,
for by
yeah.
the common citizens.
Mm-hmm.
The highest three paid jobs are the healers, teachers, and protectors. That means teachers, the
Mhm.
doctors, and the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Government wise.
Firefighters too. First
Okay,
responders.
but protectors is a broader one.
Yeah,
Protectors
yeah,
are-
yeah.
Protectors
Yeah,
are broader.
Yeah.
To be fair, but I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like just being paid more and have them having more enthusiasm would make them a better teacher, though.
100%.
Because I've had teachers that were very fucking overly enthusiastic to the point where it was, fucking them. One specific example that I have is my geometry teacher. I literally passed the class fucking sleeping with a better grade than everybody else in the fucking class that was fucking staying awake. Or not everybody, but most of the people in the class that were staying awake through the fucking thing. But geometry just fucking clicked in my head. So I would sleep every fucking day. It was right after lunch. I'd fucking come out of weight training. I'd eat. I'd fucking go in there and just fucking sleep. He'd pass out a fucking quiz and a test. This looks right. 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 And fucking ace the fucking tests. And I was just floating through on my fucking tests and quizzes with a better grade than most of the people in the fucking class. And he decided to take it upon himself right around the beginning of December, like right around fucking holiday time, to email my mother telling her that he thought that I may have a drug or alcohol problem because all I did in his class all day was just sleep and fucking didn't do anything, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And he thinks that I might need some fucking help when I'm just fucking tired from weight training and fucking fat from fucking double cheeseburgers at lunch.
Okay.
But, you know, completely unfounded kind of fucking accusations.
No, it's
kind
not
of shit.
unfounded. I disagree with that.
How so?
So him
Well,
as
well,
a person that is
but-
meant to
well,
teach the
anyways.
next generation.
Well, let me defend this because I want to stay on this particular situation.
May I finish the
Go ahead, finish.
statement first?
I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Oh, let's just pause.
No, but-
Well, anyways,
continue.
to wrap it up with a neat little fucking bow. Wasn't because I was high, wasn't because I was fucking drunk or anything, because it was fucking like fourth fucking block. It was just I would sleep in class all fucking day, and he had a problem with me having a better fucking grade and sleeping all fucking day. He couldn't fucking figure it out, so I guess he just fucking decided to tell him that I had a fucking drug or alcohol fucking problem, which got me in a whole lot of fucking shit, which again I would say is completely unfucking founded. Seeing as I had no fucking problem with
He didn't know that.
like me sleeping in class was always a thing. Like I would always have to be put in the fucking front of the class. I was in the 504 fucking program, I think they called it. It was because like I had ADD, all that shit. I slept in all my fucking classes. I fucking failed a reading class just because I would sit there and read all fucking day or sleep or any of that shit. I just had no interest in fucking doing anything classwork. But every time he would hand out anything, it was like test or quizzes, just okay, done. And where does I guess the question is where does he have the authority to go to my parents with I guess accusations?
It is an accusation.
Yeah, it's accusations. Without talking to administrators, principals, vice president, or fetcher, any shit like that. Like, how?
He's a teacher. Now, so the reason I was countering it, saying it wasn't unfounded because this is the actions. Your actions directly resulted in what he did. Now, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's and that's why I say that's actually not a bad educator because he was concerned enough to actually bother to send an email. One. If you are only
May I have a counterpoint, or would you like to finish? Yeah, that's why I asked. All right, finish.
Because you said you said he was unfounded. And I'm like, okay, you come in his class, you sleep, do all everything. He wasn't angry about. Like, didn't seem like he said you were failing the course. He wasn't telling you he didn't tell your parents you were cheating.
Mm-hmm.
He was concerned because of the behavior he was witnessing was this.
Sleeping all day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not all day. You were sleeping in his class. He didn't know why because he didn't know where you're coming from. You're assuming that he knew what your previous class was, which he doesn't.
No, you didn't.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying you're putting a lot of weight on this knowledge that you have that he does not. So him seeing you as sleeping in class is like, you know what? I'm concerned. I'm gonna email his parents. And email your parents isn't
I would
the worst
argue
thing in the world.
that the email was not sent out of general concern for my health.
So why was now pause. Now I'm saying this objectively, not subjectively, not what you think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm asking you objectively, why do you think it was sent out? Like, not what you feel, what you know.
Why do I think it was sent out?
Yeah.
Because he didn't understand how I was able to.
Did he ever say that?
He didn't say fucking anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like.
You couldn't say like crap in his fucking class, but following that email and all the shit I got into afterwards, man,
okay, I can only assume. Like, you got the email, your mom told to talk to you about it, and that directly resulted in a change in behavior in his class, right?
Me? No. Fuck no. It exacerbated it.
That's what I'm saying. It changed your behavior.
No. Well,
Exacerbating means it
it exacerbated my naps.
Yeah, so it changed your behavior. Like, that's change behavior, man.
Yeah, I still aced the tests and quizzes and
I'm
shit.
not saying that. It changed. No matter.
Changed my behavior towards him.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm about to say.
But to get into that would be what I thought the kind of person he was.
So thought. You see what I'm saying? It's like.
Well, the question is, the reason that it changed your behavior towards him was because you understood him as no longer a person that would accept whatever.
It wasn't
you wanted
understanding.
I didn't care if he accepted anything.
No.
Sorry, continue.
The fact that you at this point were sleeping in his class, and then he got to a point where he did something in order for you to no longer sleep in his class, like email your parents or try to change you.
Pause.
Did
Okay.
that
I think
change something?
I don't want to interrupt you. I'm just saying something because the way he's telling the story,
Okay.
he emailed his parents out of concern, even though it might have not been concerned
Sure.
by your assumption on your part because he didn't say anything previously.
I'd say mild malice.
But
I don't know. But
because
I don't,
he never. If he told you something, then okay. Yeah, if he said something in class, like, and then you just continue to do it, that's different. That's different than him.
He was
Okay,
he was a very introverted math
But I'm
teacher
saying-
kind of thing.
but I'm saying he never said, "Please don't sleep." Like, you sleep in my class. Like, it exhibited anger towards him because you're sleeping in his class. He didn't have that.
Oh no, he did.
Like, he woke you up every time.
Yeah, I just
Oh.
kept fucking sleeping.
Okay, you didn't say that. I asked you if you do things.
Yeah, I didn't think it was relevant. But
It is
No,
relevant.
no, no.
I,
But
I didn't. But
at that point, the teacher saw you sleeping the whole time. He saw you sleeping in his class as an issue. He tried to change that issue because he could no longer change it because he talked to you. He tried to change it by speaking to your parents.
Yeah, which is the way it
even
works.
though I was passing his class with a better grade than most
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter because it
Because you were no longer doing the same thing as the norm as everyone else.
Mhm.
Because regardless if you're passing or not, the other students did not understand that you're passing because
well,
you're
not the
sleeping.
students, just the teacher.
Yeah, students didn't care.
No. The students saw you and they were going, if he can sleep, that means I can sleep. And if they slept, most likely the majority of them that were sleeping or did not pay attention would fail.
Well,
Which
yeah,
would create an issue.
Mhm.
but that's talking about circumstances that occur.
In his mind, how I would see it is if one student's sleeping and passing and all the students are sleeping, I would see it that other students start failing because they're no longer paying attention.
No, he woke everybody up. He would wake me up fucking too. I just
Okay.
Okay,
whatever.
I think there's a part of the story we don't know because I think that you left some things out.
Uh,
But, as a sub, when I taught, like, each student behaved differently. It's all a common thing.
Sure.
But it's like when I had concern for students and I brought it to attention when I was subbing or when I subbed for like a 6-month period of time. And
what
I
would
was-
be
it-
your cause for concern?
It can be anything.
Would it be bad grades?
No, because it's not that bad grades doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong.
If you're trying to teach somebody something and they're not retaining the information,
That means so. There's two ways you can take that. If it's my actions, if they're like actively listening and in class and participating, then I am failing because I'm not able to convey a way. I'm not educating in a way that is helping them learn.
Yeah.
That's me. Now, if it's something like you're if you're sleeping in the class and you're failing, then okay, that's a your problem. That is a you. And I'm trying to correct your behavior. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to teach. And it does not change that you continue doing your thing. Now I'll show concern and email your parents.
what would be the procedure to go through for expressing concern? As a teacher, do you go
It's whatever
to
the school says.
guidance counselors,
It could be
security,
anything.
principal?
Exactly.
You will never go to security.
Do you go through the school system?
Typically has a guideline.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
It does
go,
have a
do you go
guideline,
from a
but
concerned teacher to a guidance counselor to security to the principal and parents, or do you go
You start with
concerned teacher
You start with
straight to?
All
I
teachers-
think your kid may have a drug or alcohol problem,
No,
which was
You-
at the time completely unfounded.
no, it's not unfounded because your behavior is depicting this.
It was depicting it, but
So
in
it's not unfounded.
In reality, it was unfounded because of
it was not true.
my
not
actions. It
unfounded.
was untrue.
not
sure.
unfounded because he had reason to speculate.
Okay,
That unfounded means he had no reason to act.
but
Actually,
there's there's
I
a
would only say it's unfounded unless you begin, for example, like half the year paying attention, awake, and then all of a sudden you.
do you mind?
Why is your car on?
Is that your car?
We're gonna take a break real quick. We're back. All right, and we are back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we here again.
Yes, let's go. So before we decided to make sure that our friend's car was not being stolen today, we were, I guess, in the middle of the bad teacher, good teacher situation, where you're talking about how the teacher report accused you of being an alcoholic, I guess, and to your parents, and I was debating against you, saying, I don't feel it was unfounded. Now, does that make him a bad teacher, though?
I will say, after a conversation with him afterwards, he did accept where he was wrong in his
Jumping the gun or assumption?
in his way of dealing with the situation.
Still on fire. Man, it's still on fire.
Was. But
Continue, sorry.
yeah. But accepted their wrongdoings. At that point it was a little too late to remedy the fucking facts of what happened. And in the end, worked out, passed the class, all that kind of fun shit. But I would say, as an example of
So based on that,
don't jump the gun on accusations kind of shit, maybe.
okay, but we're talking about like getting a teacher high salary in that sense, like.
Oh no, I fucking completely agree with that. Teachers are not fucking paid enough.
Okay, that was because we were talking about the bad teachers and how would you like.
Yeah.
Like there are bad teachers. There always is. There are also bad students. It takes two.
Yeah, I would just say what they're paid doesn't directly correlate to if they're effective.
Okay, I do agree. But what I feel that I was trying to convey is that with the increased salary, you will have a more ambitious or more thoughtful teacher coming in, and will fight for their job because it's such a high-paying job and you get scrutinized.
So long as there's higher scrutiny for that job.
Exactly, but at the same time, it's like I feel that teachers, because of the amount of they're paid now, just kind of give up on trying to teach students because they get like 1, 2, 3, 4 bad students in a row.
Yeah,
a teacher's going to take so much before they're just like, I'm just here for a paycheck.
Or you get people like our friend group that just fucking break teachers and just like, I don't care what the fuck you do.
That's true too. It's like, again, it's like it takes two, but I feel if you're paid more though, because you're it's also a more competitive field in that sense because it's now okay. You're getting paid.
Yeah.
Not just gonna getting
you're
higher.
getting paid at a higher point. So at that point, because you're getting paid at a higher rate, you're gonna have a higher competitive like field.
Yeah, but at the same time, you also have to look at the other end of that because like teachers paid more. You also have to think about how that influences society as a whole. Excuse me, in the sense of like, okay, where's that salary coming from for public schools? It's like, when you're a professor, you're getting paid in the private sector. It's like, okay, now, so do taxes increase? They have to generate fundage somehow.
Well, taxes, where they go, and all that kind of things, I think is like a whole fucking kind of topic. And I think it's a topic that we'll address in the next episode of the Nightcap.
Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We had a good time. We had a good conversation.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Be safe.
We'll see you next week
Yep.
for the Nightcap. Ciao.
Ciao.